Sorry.
Welcome to episode 67 of the SNLF podcast, sponsored by New Style Apparel, the hottest new clothing line for the football casual. Head over to newstyleapparel.uk to check out Noah's latest creations. Just the three of us this evening because Gaz has... Let me think. I was going to think of something witty, but
Gaz is on annual leave today.
Yeah, but it wasn't actually granted. He's just taking it anyway, so it will be unpaid. It's noted in the book.
Well, he is the director, so to be fair, if anyone could authorise a bit of leave, it would be him.
Nah, not if the Godfather hasn't authorised it, then no, and then the wizard could actually make him disappear. So there we go. So back this evening is Mr. Dugout Diaries, Mike McCaffrey. Mike, how are you after a week's break?
Reporting for duty, sir. Yeah. Hectic weekend, and went to a game last night. We'll talk about, but yeah, loads to discuss though this week. I think that's why we haven't got a guest, because there's been some topics that you've put in the agenda. For what you don't know, that Trev does an agenda before the game. Statman does his stats, and I just tick it. That's all I do.
Mike just turns up a bit like Gaz does, really. I mean, you probably notice when Gaz is in charge, there ain't much of an agenda. It just goes as it goes, and it's a bit like a car crash.
Not going to like that at all.
A bit like a car crash. Well, that's his fault. He ain't turned up.
You're going to have beef with Food Guy.
Always do. And I mean, he's at no football again this weekend. Didn't go to a game last night. You know, it's food sales in Sussex.
He's got a stressful
going
job.
Down. He's done one game in two months, I think, and that was Saturday with me. So that says it all, doesn't it? Anyway, to the right of me is the Sussex stat man, Mr. Chris Pryor. How are you, mate?
Not too bad, thank you. Yourself?
Not too bad. A bit of a sneezing fit before I come on, so my voice might be a little bit there all the way through, but there we go.
Oh, you're always ill, you are. You're always ill.
I'm not ill. That was just a sneezing fit. I've got over most of the illness of the last couple of weeks, thankfully, which makes a change. But as Mike mentioned, we have no guests this evening. We did actually try for a couple of people as it goes, and one of those is willing to come on in a couple of weeks' time anyway, which is good. I know he's right in the middle of a very busy week, busy time for him. So we'll appreciate his time when he does come on. But as Mike said, we've got plenty to chat about this evening. And probably between myself and Mike, I don't think Chris has been to any football, but me and Mike have been putting the miles in this week, haven't we? Which we'll come to a bit later.
We've been busy, treble busy. You know, keeping the brand afloat in the county.
Yeah, we have. Even Gaz put a little bit in this week as well, which we'll come to a bit later. But we're going to start this evening with what we gave you a little bit of information about 2 weeks ago, which is Mike's app called DugoutAI.com. You rolled it out the weekend, Mike, and started with the county leagues, with everything on there as well. Tell everyone a little bit more about it and what you've got planned to come over the next few days and the next few weeks.
Okay, well, first and foremost, we did a pre-release, blown away by the amount of people that downloaded it over the last 5 days. Incredible numbers. So thank you ever so much. We focus on version 1 for the Sussex County Football League, the SEFL. All of the leagues in there. So in there, you've got your stats, league tables, your fixtures. You've got all the podcasts that we're involved in. You've got the shop on there. You've got a ground hopper feature, nearest match feature. There's a lot of fan interaction as well. You know, you can vote in polls. You can earn rewards for where you go. You can check in how many clubs you've been to. I see that you've checked into 49 clubs, Trev.
Yeah, I did. I made a bit of a boo-boo, didn't I? Because I looked at it and I went, "Oh, I've been there. And then when I actually came back out of it and looked at the top, it went this season. I was like, this is lifetime for me. But
it wasn't just you. I did the same.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean,
it looked slick as out as well.
Yeah, look,
really nice.
It's not me. That put it all together. Mr. X, someone we can't mention in the background, for legal reasons, let's say. He's helped put it together, the idea that we had, and we're rolling it out. We're going to be rolling it out to the Isthmian Leagues, Mid Sussex Leagues, West Sussex Leagues, the National League South as well. So cover everything that we cover here. Okay, it's got your top goal scorers on, the stats from Statman in there. Trevor's footballwriting.com, fantastic site for ones of you that haven't seen that yet. You know, he's moved away from Substack. I'm sure he'll mention a bit more on that, and he's doing real bits on there. I'm going to get there's lots more features added. I mean, we've just had another one, which is match day pubs. So, for example,
tell us how that actually works, Mike, because I looked at it and I'm like, have you got to wait for? Are you waiting for the club to come in?
No. So what? Right. So yeah, it's in conjunction with the clubs. So if you've got a boozer that is near, let's say you've got, what's the boozer by Wick called? Do you know, just by the Locomotive? Yeah, you've got that in there. For the away fans or even some of the home fans, you got the option of where to go for a beer before the match. Okay, you know what it's like. If we go to like a Prem game or a league game, or you go to a Barnet game, you know, you want to go and find a boozer before. So we're doing that. We're just trying to make it a little bit more of a match day experience. Over the next couple of months, we will be adding multiple more features, including within the week, these live notifications for scores. Okay, it's a good job we didn't activate them this week, because every live notification, okay, it in the background costs some money to make. So, you know, with the technology in the background. And had I had that many users doing it, there, I would have been broke. You know what I mean? I would have been coming to you boys for a sub. Yeah. So, but we found a way around that to make it more sustainable. So that's coming as well. It's got the directory of all the clubs. Cool things though. You can upload voice notes. You can upload photos from the match and match day programs as well. Okay, so the clubs out there, get in touch. I want you to add your match day programs to the app. You'll be able to have a selection of them there. So when the casual fans can have a look, they can go, oh yeah, what's happening at Shoreham, or what's happening at Hayward Heath, what's happening at Worthing United. You know, your match day. Trevor, you're in about 50 of those programs anyway. So you know what I mean. To be fair. So
with that, Mike, if clubs don't have an e-program at the moment, they only print they print one, but that's all they do. I know some do both, some do either or. So if they only do a printed one, how can they get onto the app?
Well, to be fair, to make the printed program, you've got to have it in a PDF version anyway.
Right.
So unless they're doing it on an old typewriter these days, you know, I know you still do a bit of typewriting with your columns on a Monday. But I can imagine you would like that. But they should have it, you know. It's quite clear that the program of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s isn't the program of 2025, 26. Now, you know, it's not to do with the content. It's due to the fact with production costs, environmental aspects, and for the fact that it really does. When you have it on your phone, you can have that. So it's nothing to do with the content within the program. It's the fact that the clubs can send that to me, their program, for free, and it will get more casual readers that they won't have any interaction with before. Okay, it'll open up new markets to them, and it also help with the interactions with the sponsors because they get more readership. Okay, so when they clubs go and they print 50 programs up at, I don't know, dodgyprint.com or whatever, it's there. Come see me. Come and see me. I'm not charging. I'm not going to charge anything. Yeah, you know, it's not a declaration of war on the program, people. My level of pettiness is not that. Yeah, maybe it is actually. Okay, maybe it is. But yeah, come see me. Come put it on there. I'm not going to charge you for anything.
Don't be slacking off dodgyprint.com again, though. They've done nothing wrong.
But yeah, we're gonna doing that. We're gonna add things like the club portal pages as well. It's got your free agent page in there. which is quite interesting because people have already been signing up for that. And I've seen a few players that have signed up for that in the last few days that are actually currently with clubs. So they're like, I'm there going like, aren't you? They're like, yeah, I'm just putting the feeders. But some of the CVs that come through are really nice in there. There's literally so many features you can put on there. Like I said, I'm blown away with how it's going to go. You're going to be seeing now every week something else happen. I have been on the phone to Apple for hours today. Right? Do you know how hard it is to go through all these developer checks and stuff like that? They want money here, money there, money here, money there. And we finally got it in it because that's why I pre-released it. Because it should have been on Apple a week and a half ago. Okay? But they're blaming. Hang on. Oh, I've just had Mr. X on the phone. And I nearly turned it around there so you will know who it is. He has just said, because he is one of the viewers, you can now upload your program now direct via the app. You don't even have to get in contact with me. So
cutting out the middleman already.
Yeah, they're even cutting me out. Mr. X is cutting me out. You know, so clubs, like for example, clubs on there, all of your clubs, get on there. Let's see how many clubs that want to support it. Yeah. Or more than likely, let's see ones that don't, and then we might have a problem, you know. So, but look, we're going to be adding loads more features, onto there. It's going to be the one app. Fixtures, scores, league tables, top goal scorers, podcasts, shop, ground hop, all the features you could think of in there, you know. So look, we're proud of it, you know. And I'm excited to see what it's going to do for the rest of the season. It's going to be free, you know. It's cost a few quid, but it's going to be free. And why we're doing this, because we want to do this because as everyone on here, everyone else and the other ones that I deal with, we're all committed long term to Sussex non-league football. We made that quite clear couple of years ago when me, Trev and Gareth sat down and said, look, we've got this idea, we want to do this. And with all the other people that have been involved with Chris, Lee Penn, Dr. X, Stuart Sell, in and around, okay, we're making things happen here. So, yeah, it's going to be free. Go and check our website out now. Well, no, actually, don't do that because you're supposed to be listening to this podcast. So don't do that. But check it out later. Go in there and you can go on there, register. It's free to register, and you can just save it to your home screen as an app. It's going to be on iOS within hours, literally hours. You know, we're just doing the final bits. Dr. X has been on my case. I was supposed to do something for him this morning, but obviously had a late night at the football last night. Fell asleep doing something, and yeah. But anyway, I've waffled on too much. It's going to be fantastic. I had some of the Heath boys and the Roffey boys try it out last night. They loved it. They wanted their own player profiles. I said, look, lads, come on.
It's one thing at a time.
One step at a time. But I'll tell you one thing, and this is true. It will be the one app. By the time you get to next season, yeah, or pre-season, yeah, it will be the go-to app for everything regarding Sussex non-league football. So I'm declaring war on FA full-time. I'm declaring war on the match day program people. I'm declaring war on the people that don't sign up. You know, that's how it is. A friendly war, like friendly fire. But we'll
friendly
go
war.
Right,
one thing I want to ask Mike as well with it. One of the big things I see from ground hoppers around as well is knowing whether a club's got a 3G pitch or a grass pitch. So you said about the club portal going in. Will that be a separate thing or will that be within that portal under each club?
Yeah, Dr. X already knows about that. And funny enough, that was brought up on web pages, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that same post. Dr. X knows all about that. And we've initiated that and we're giving them the green light because if it's on a 3G, unless it's snow or there's something crazy that's happening, it's going to be on. And on web pages, you know, they made a statement, didn't they? They were saying like, oh, but all this lot and why do we have to do that? You know, they were the benchmark. Them, photology and things like that. Now we're coming from.
I think it's a good thing. I mean, you've seen the thing I've started doing on Saturdays of the moment where I just try and get an updated fixture list out on a Saturday morning because.
Have you got nothing better to do?
Evidently not. No. I mean, I'll try and I'll put a star on there on the games with a 3G on the basis that you can be pretty certain that they're going to go ahead. So it's definitely helpful to know that.
I was at the game last night as well, Statman. There's so many people that said, "You are an alien." The alien moniker is landing, mate. You know, I said, "Where's the alien? We don't see him in the games down there." I went, "What's Statman?" He went, "Yeah, you are the alien."
I live halfway to France. That's half the problem with Roffy.
Anyway, I'm just quickly dip out for 30 seconds. My beautiful wife has just come back from a 13-hour shift.
Oh, I'll be quick.
I need to give her a little slap because she's putting me on the fat injections tomorrow.
We don't advocate domestic violence on this podcast.
No, we don't indeed. Indeed, we are. And so get on to dugoutai.com, download the app. We had it at the weekend, myself and Gaz, and we did have a good flick through everything on there. And obviously, this is only the first part of it. So with so much more
every few days, Trev, we're updating it again. In there'll be more and more features, and also to people out there, if you think there's a feature we should add, do it. This is not for my benefit, not at all. This is for everyone else's benefit. So if you think there's a feature, flick through. Have a play. I want feedback. If you think the feedback's shit as well, I want all that.
I did give him plenty when he first put it together.
I'll take no notice of it as well.
I'll tell you what, he didn't speak to us in the WhatsApp group for about 2 days because I picked everything apart that wasn't right with it.
Yeah,
but
if you don't know, my way anyway. No,
if you don't know, then you don't know, do you? If
exactly.
people don't tell you.
And that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've just had one. I've just had a little bit of feedback come through. But yeah, feedback is what we want. So yeah, let's go on there. Go and check it out. Go and add yourselves to it. Free to register. The app is free. And then we will release the beast.
There we go.
We're releasing the beast, Dougie, soon.
That puts Mike out of a job.
No, and this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to. I promise you, this is what we're going to do. It does put me out of job. Thank God for that. Automation. I'm going to invite Dougie onto your podcast.
I might politely decline.
I might have to counter decline. I might have to use those voting rights against yourself. We're going to bring him on, and we're going to show everyone what he can do.
Is he like a little puppet? You put your hand up like Sooty and Sweep and Emu.
Well, put it this way, right? Listen. He's a bit of a mixture of all three of us, right? So he's got the stats of Statman, he's got the football knowledge of you, and he's got the looks and charisma of me. Okay, so
he fell down on the last one, didn't he?
And they did say I have a face for radio. So,
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, which we'll hear about later.
And a voice for brain.
And also, Dr. X just told me as well. He said you haven't mentioned the fact that each match also has the predicted weather as well for where you are. So they say, like it's going to be raining at this time, or 60% chance of rain. Bring your coat; it's going to be hot, things like that. So yeah, he's on my case today, the doc, isn't he? He is on my case. He's right, Martin. Right. Let's talk football now.
Does it tell you to bring a canoe if you go to Arundel?
Arundel, Uckfield, Billingshurst. You know what I mean? Did I tell you, right? I once canoed 100 miles in 4 days.
I thought you were going to take two between the three of them.
Did I tell you that? That's another story because I'm waffling on.
You are.
Like, right. Many coffees.
Anyway, right, let's get on. And to a topic that does need to be talked about and gets brushed under the carpet far too often with people not willing to speak about it, call it out, whatever it is. So on Saturday afternoon, there was an incident at the game between Eastbourne United and Horsham YM on the 79th minute when Horsham's skipper, Gideon Achimpong, which I hope I've pronounced correctly,
Gids.
Gids, yeah. Heard what he believed to be a racist comment from somebody in the crowd. Not surprisingly, all hell broke loose. Kids ended up with a red card, and by the end of the game, the police were called and everything was spiraling a little bit out of control. Both clubs released statements on Saturday evening, not surprisingly. Comments turned off on one, the correct thing to do, I think, because it only would have inflamed the situation even further. And I say with the power of social media, more with the opinion of social media, certain things are then able to get out into the public domain, which are still allegations at the time and no truth in anything until it's been investigated. On Tuesday, Eastbourne United released a further statement having cooperated with the police, the Sussex FA and Horsham YM, for the individual involved to be suspended from all football activities within Eastbourne United. And we await the further news of what will happen from that point onwards. Now, the Kick It Out campaign has been around for longer than I care to remember. And to me, it doesn't matter on the pitch whether you're straight, you're gay, you're black, you're white, you're male, you're female, you're whatever gender you want to be. It shouldn't matter, and it shouldn't have to take something like this to actually bring another thing to our attention, especially across Sussex as well. It's the first time we've come across it or known of it since we've been doing this podcast between the four of us. Although we know it is rife in life and throughout football, throughout sport, throughout everywhere, and it's something that really, really shouldn't be. Guys, add your bits in as we go.
Okay, I'll jump in.
Yeah, go
on. I've said my piece on this. No place for it at all. I know a lot of the players that are involved with one of the clubs. They're great guys, absolutely great guys. It's tough. I don't want to comment too much on it because there's an investigation still going on, and we don't want to compromise. I do know that the lead people at Horsham YM today were with the Kick It Out people, or those people today in there. There's no place. There's no place. The first statement they put out, obviously, it was a bit all up in the air when that happened. It got a lot of abuse online. It did, rightfully so. Rightfully so. Second one was obviously better than there, and the third one I thought they put out was strong and fair. I did, First and foremost, let's not tar both clubs with the actions for what one individual did. Okay, two great clubs, great footballing teams, competitive. It's obviously, it was known what happened, and if I was on that kind of side of that, I would have reacted the same. It was very, 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 very strange that the lads had their cars checked as well by the police after the game for whatever was in the car that was not found, and those allegations were absolutely false. Maybe that was to deter from the hot topic, but let's not brush anything on the fact that we don't want that now. We don't want that. You said it right, Trev. Wherever you are, gay, straight, black, white, brown, whatever, it is what it is. Sadly, it still goes on. It still goes on. I can't. Yeah, I think you're right. There's been limited amounts of these kind of accusations in Sussex football, but it's not clean of them. It's not clean at all. You know, how many don't get reported, or how many are brushed off for the fact that I ain't saying anything, I don't want to put anything back. You should speak out. You should speak out. Homophobia, stuff like that. You know, religious things like that. You've got to. So I've said my piece, but let's please not tarnish Horsham YM or Eastbourne United as clubs because of the actions of one person. Okay, I think the Sussex FA have got a mountain on their hands now. You know, they've got to deal with this proper, quick, and the way it goes. It seems like Eastbourne have done that, and I think, as far as I'm concerned, you let the investigation go, and it's dealt with. I'm sorry for the victim in this. He's a great guy, Gids, as well. Really, really good. You would not. He wouldn't react like that. You know, I've met him. Really nice guy. I met him all. But I think my final point would be let's not tarnish both clubs for what one individual done, and that's what I'm going to say, because there is an investigation going on. Let football be the winner, because they're two great teams. They really are. You know, my bad.
Chris?
It's a hard one to talk about. Like, from my experience, I've never had to deal with anything like that. You know, I'm quite privileged in that sense, of being, you know, straight. I've kind of looked out in life in a lot of ways. Yeah, I think obviously the first statement from Eastbourne United needlessly poured fuel on it, which it did not need. It is awful. The whole sort of anti-racism, anti-homophobia thing, you know, used to be really strong at Eastbourne Town when we had the peer pressure fans there, and that was kind of what it was. In a way, it was kind of what attracted us to town in the first place, because there were stickers all over the town, and so we got involved. I say got involved. We started going. They welcomed us in, and it was dead strong there. You know, anti-homophobia, anti-racism, anti-sexism, everything like that. And I've never really. The only time I've seen racism in Eastbourne was in the Eagle pub, and I ended up getting nutted for calling it out. But I do it. Yeah,
A headbutt.
Yeah, I mean, someone basically said something about Mario Balotelli, and I basically pointed out he's got more flaws than the bird caliber. His skin colour is not one of them. Like, you could have a pop at Balotelli, he's an absolute moron, right? He's got so many loose screws. You don't have to pick on his skin colour. It's needless. And then, anyway, his mate then just came in and just planted one on me. But I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Like, there is no place in football, but also like in society generally. Like, it feels like things are going backwards in a lot of ways. I think I don't know the causes of that. I'm not bright enough, but it does feel like we seem to be on an upward curve of it rather than a downward curve, which is upsetting. But yeah, look, I mean, Eastbourne United's statement today was a lot better. It seems like the matter has been dealt, is being dealt with now in a matter befitting the seriousness of the situation. And that's all you can ask for, really. Mistakes, I say mistakes, bad things happen. You can't eradicate them in life. You've just got to deal with them the best way you can. And hopefully that's what's going on now. I messaged Liam Giles at the weekend, just saying, I hope everyone's all right, because it sounded awful. I just wish everyone involved all the best. And I'm with you, Mike, on, you don't want to tar the whole club with the actions of an individual, but I do think people will hold the mirror up to them with regards to how they've handled it. And I think that's fair up to a point. But like I say, it does seem like now there is a bit of positive momentum in the case.
I think by releasing that extra statement, though, they realised there was scrutiny. They realised perhaps they dropped the ball on the first one, but at the same time, you've also got to realise that Club didn't bring that on themselves. You know, neither club did. Neither club wanted that.
No.
And are the people that put out these statements? These are volunteers. They're chairmen, they're chair ladies, secretaries, whatever. You know, it's not that kind of issue that you see every day.
No, exactly. I think that was a bit, showed a bit with that first statement. It was almost like it was a bit of panic, because it's like, how do you deal with something like this? It's not something you get regularly, if anything.
I thought Steve's statement at Horsham was on point. For the you know,
I think it's slightly different though in that respect, that obviously because, you know, it happened to Horsham, that type of statement is always going to be different to the perpetrators club, I suppose, in that respect. And it's like it's a bit easier to be able to deal with that and put that kind of statement out than it is to actually, you know, kind of like, shit, we're in trouble. What do we do here?
Yeah, I just hope both teams, once everything's been sorted, and once right people have got the right help that they need, people can get back to doing what they do best on the football pitch rather than the off pitch things. Because, like I said, two really good clubs, you know, and it's not going to be. This won't be the last. Something will happen, and it'll be put under the mic again. You know?
Well, there was one I saw Saturday evening as well, somewhere else in the country. I can't remember for the life of me where it was now, and I'm like, chances of two in the same day on the same match weekend, and I've not seen anything much throughout the rest of the season. I've seen odd bits and pieces, but maybe slightly more magnified because this is closer to home for us, being in Sussex. You know, I don't know, but you know, now we just wait and see what happens. Everything needs to take its take its course, and hopefully, you know, those people that have commented, I know a little bit in the heat of the moment on Saturday evening when it's very raw, it's right under your nose, it's under your skin. You know, let everything take its course.
Emotions take over, don't they?
Of course they do. Of course they do. It's only natural. You know, only natural.
You've got to draw your line in the sand, haven't you? And say, well, that's my team, that's your team. We'll back ours, and you know. But let's let the authorities do what they've got to do, and then let's all, us and the football clubs, get back to talking football on the pitch.
Absolutely, which is what we're going to do now. And we'll start with last weekend in the National League South and the FA Trophy. On Saturday afternoon, Horsham went down 2-1 at home to Southend United. In the National League South, Eastbourne Borough beat Hampton and Richmond by the same score, and Worthing went down to Hornchurch by the same score. A bit of a weekend for it. On Tuesday evening, Eastbourne Borough beat Horsham YM 5-0 in the Sussex Senior Cup quarter-final, and in the National League South, Worthing beat Chesham by 2-0. This coming Saturday, all three sides are on the road. Horsham head down to AFC Tottenham, Eastbourne Borough over the similar sort of way to Salisbury, and Worthing head to Kent to face Tunbridge Angels. On Tuesday evening, all three sides are at home. Eastbourne Borough host playoff chasing Ipswich United, Horsham host playoff chasing Hornchurch, and Worthing are at home to playoff chasing Maidenhead United. Bit of a mixed weekend. Our last representatives out with a chance of getting to Wembley this year, but you can't give sides like Southend United a 2-goal head start and then hope to try and win the game after that.
2 and 15 minutes, first 15 minutes.
Yeah, very early.
Poor old Dom, you know, he'd be preparing for that game. And it was a mistake, a couple of mistakes as well, wasn't it? From what I hear, you know, he'd be preparing for that game for days on end. I know him, you know, he would have run through all the scenarios in his head and everything like that, along with people like Punts and everything. You know, Jimmy Punts and all that. Gutted for him, but let's take away what they have achieved by going that far. A club like Horsham, you know.
Well, I said when they played, because they knocked out Scunthorpe United, didn't they, in the previous round, which is an amazing achievement. And 10 years ago, you know, Scunthorpe were trying to get into the Championship and Horsham were trying to get out of the County League. So for them to be knocking them out of the FA Trophy, like, the FA Premier non-league competition. Really, that is an incredible achievement. And look, they ran Southend close in the end. I know, like you say, Trev, you can't be giving teams of any
Could
quality.
they got a penalty at the end as well? Did you see that little decision?
Yeah, I did look at it, and for me, it was a penalty.
I saw you comment on it. Yeah,
huh?
I saw you comment on it, didn't you? I thought it was a pen.
Yeah, I thought it was. But it's one of those on another day gets given. That day, it didn't get given. Changes games, takes to a penalty shootout. In front of a sellout 2,500 crowd. Shooting in towards your fans becomes a completely different story, doesn't it? But great achievement to get as far as they've done. I make it they're a point away from proper safety. I think they're actually, well in advance of that now. But cracking season for them so far. Bit of a mixed week for Worthing, dropping points to Hornchurch, but coming up against an informed Chesham United side, keeping a clean sheet, and maybe a slight blip. But I did say to James last night when I came in, I think it's Dawkins to lose now.
Yeah,
well, it should be they're 5 points clear, aren't they?
Of Hornchurch,
And they haven't lost it age. They are just cooking. They're just absolutely very professionally going about it. A good goal difference. I mean, Worthing's is better, but it's better than Hornchurch's, and they've just got that consistency that I don't think any of the other top sides have got. Hornchurch recently lost 3 on the spin. Torquay haven't won in, I think, 7 now. They've got Neil Warnock back at the helm.
You said that, Trev.
Yeah,
I thought you were winding me up.
2-2 draw with Farnborough last night.
Yeah, which isn't going to help it. I mean, they came from behind twice, a fair play, but yeah, Farnborough are fighting for their lives. So if you're trying to get up to the National League again, they're the games you need to be winning. So, Ebbsfleet have only won 1 in 6. I can't see past Dorking at this point now.
No, I can't. And a good week for Eastbourne, Chris. 2 wins out of 2. And although Saturday wasn't quite so great for them because everyone else around them, apart from Bath, I think, picked up a point or 1 as well, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it feels like it could be a season-defining goal in that it was really late against a team like Hampton, who they're now 6 points behind Hampton. If they hadn't done that, it'd still be 9, and you're thinking, yeah, okay, they're now out of reach. So that was mad. But yeah, I mean, the good thing for Borough, I guess, is Enfield dropped points twice, which you might expect, but they drew with Bath, who were in absolutely terrible form, and with Hampton, who were not in great form either, and are still in that sort of relegation places. Last night they drew, so that's not great. Bath are falling apart. Borough's next game is at Salisbury on Saturday, who are not brilliant either. They're not a million mark. I think they'll be all right, but they're not out of it.
No, I agree.
Yeah, so it's in their. I mean, it's more in their hands than it has been. But I still think you need 45. I think this year to survive. I don't think it'll be 50. I just think because there's quite a few weak teams down there. I think 45, probably 40, 46 will definitely do you.
Statman said anyone that goes down now less than 46 is wrong.
And I think, Borough look, I still think they'll go, but they've given themselves the best chance they can. That's all you can say for it.
Yeah, at least they're giving themselves a shot. And if they pick up 6 points this week, that's a massive shot in the arm.
Yeah, it is. Ebbsfleet won't be easy either. Coming down Primary Lane,
no.
They've been in good. They started slow, but they've been pretty decent of late. So,
absolutely right. It's been Premier Division time and results on Saturday. Burgess Hill Town won 1-0 at Canvey Island. Chichester City went down 3-1 at Dulwich Hamlet. Lewis lost 1-0 at home to Cray Valley Paper Mill, and Whitehawk drew 0-0 with Chatham on Tuesday evening. Whitehawk lost 2-1 at Chatham in the reverse. Lewis went down 3-0 at home to Billericay Town, and Burgess Hill Town won 2-1 at Wingate and Finchley. This coming Saturday, Whitehawk head to Averley, Lewis are at Brentwood Town, Burgess Hill Town host Welling United, and Chichester City are at home to Cray Wanderers. On Tuesday evening, Chichester head to Canvey Island, and Whitehawk head to Dulwich. Chris, Burgess Hill are just about still in with a shout with 2 wins, but they could do with a favour this weekend from Chichester as they host Cray Wanderers.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because I didn't realise this until I was just looking at my notes ahead of prep. prepping ahead of this show. Last game of the season, Burgess Hill host Cray.
Oh, I might have to be there for that one then.
So yeah, if that's going,
Well, links there, haven't you, Trev?
Cray, I have, yeah.
You're gonna see him go down, are you?
Cray Wanderers. Cray Wanderers is talking about, not Cray Valley.
Right.
No, I mean Cray Valley. Yeah, enough about them. But no, Cray Wanderers. Yeah, Burgess Hill have got a good chance. The one thing they don't have is particularly nice fixture list, because I know they've got Welling at the weekend, but then it's Ramsgate away, Chatham, Billericay away, and Brentwood.
Ooh, that's a run.
So that might see the end of it. But I tell you what, if they can carry on, absolutely fair enough. I think it's just about out of reach now. I mean, for some reason, my model got Whitehawk actually having a better shot at it, which I find a bit odd. But I think it might be just on the fixtures, because, like I say, that's a nightmare of a run that Burgess Hill have got coming up. But we should remember, this is their first season at the level again. Them and Ramsgate, to be fair, and they're 8th and 9th, and they've both given it a right good go. Good fun to watch both of them as well. Actually, like in terms of goals either side, they've been they've done really, really well. So
yeah, they did score a lot. Mike Whitehawk missed a bit of a trick at the weekend with Chatham down to 10 men on Saturday, but only picking up a 0-0 draw and then going on there on Tuesday night and falling to defeat. Looks like that might well do for them in the playoffs, I think, unless they can spin 10 wins in a row.
Yeah, they're on 45 points. They're 12 points off Billericay in the playoffs. You know, they're going to need the type like an asteroid hitting the Earth 66 million years ago to actually make the playoffs this year. But it seems like the club has stabilised over the last couple of seasons. You know, not sure so much about their youth sides. That's obviously changed a bit off the record, but yeah, I think it's now how far can we finish up there? It's a mid-table finish. It's progression down there, but no playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think you're right. And a little bit of concern over Lewis as well. Back-to-back defeats, no goals, and Cray Valley getting thumped by Welling last night. It's pulled Welling a little bit closer in that relegation zone as well.
Did you see that post about Lewis today? I know you did.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did see. Yeah. But that's been the case. We've seen quite a few times from a few different people through the season at different points as well. But I mean, Chris, at the moment they're still far enough away from that relegation zone, but it only takes a couple of results for either Cray Valley, Carshalton, Wingate, someone like that, and then does drag them in a little bit.
Yeah, and I think didn't Carshalton change their manager fairly recently, like in the last week or so?
Yes.
I think
Cray Valley.
Yeah. No, I remember about the Cray Valley one because you pointed it out. But yeah, Carshalton, I don't think have won in 16. Like they're in dire straits. And the thing for Lewis as well is their goal difference is absolutely horrendous.
That's I was going to point that out. Yeah, he's back.
That's second worst in the league.
And what did we say last year with Bogner and goal difference?
Yeah. But it just means you're that much easier to catch, doesn't it? Like, so for the likes of Wingate and Hashtag, yeah. And I tell you what, it's not going to get easier quickly for Lewis either, because their next three, I think, Brentwood away, Toby Ball's return with Dulwich, and then Dartford away. So that is not the set of fixtures you want if you're trying to break a run that they've been on. They're 7 without a win now.
They need 3 points at least out of that. 9
I think they've taken 10 from the last since the 20th of December, which I think is 12 games. So that's 10 from 12. That is, however you want to spin it, relegation for
36.
Now I know, when we had Pitts on a couple of weeks ago, the point was made then, and it's still relevant now that the fixtures haven't been kind, and they haven't. They've played Billericay twice, Folkestone, Averley.
But over a season, you play everyone twice.
Absolutely.
I can't accept people that say, "Oh, we've had a bad run of fixtures." Fuck that. You play each other twice.
You do play each other twice, but that's why there are peaks and troughs within a season. That is just a fact of life. You are going to have tough runs of games. Yes, you've got to navigate them, but it's easy to, it's easy. Like I said with when Whitehawk went 7 unbeaten recently, that was about the fixtures as much as anything else. It was a good run from Whitehawk, but they'd played four of the bottom 5, I think, in 7 games. So you're going to see an upturn in results. Like that is, the opposition play as much as a part of the game as you do.
The saving grace might be how bad Carshalton are. If they, I thought the guy they've appointed, Steve Bates, who's come out of Wildstone, who was a coach there, didn't exactly fill me with confidence. Why are you grinning away?
Because City had just conceded, and I could see his face drop. Sorry, mate.
That might be their only saving grace is that Carshalton don't pick up from that point, and actually one of those 4 sides in the bottom 4 actually take Carshalton take one of their places. And if Ryan Maxwell can get more out of Welling United as well, again as he did last night at Cray Valley, then they look like they're going to be the ones that could get out of it. But then I see today that Cray Valley brought in Sean Scannell, who obviously was a pro at Southend and a few other clubs in the Football League as well. So that's a fairly decent signing. Sorry,
wasn't he at Palace as well?
Yeah. So that's a decent signing. Again, someone like Kevin Lisby is going to have a few contacts as well. Whether he can tap into where his 2 boys are at Peterborough and Colchester and pop a couple in on loan, that can make all the difference. Especially when you're talking about survival.
I think we've got to make no mistake about it, though. They need to take some points out of the next few games. Otherwise, they are in trouble, and they've got to start looking at it.
They're the 4th, but they are the 4th cab off the rank. Even if Carshalton do say put a run together, they've still got Cray Valley, Hashtag, and Wingate in between them and the drop, and they do have a bit of a cushion points wise. They're 9 points clear of the drop at the moment, so it's not brilliant, but I don't think they're in any immediate danger.
How many games are left?
For them, they've got 9. Assuming my mental arithmetic's on point. I
think 6 points, Mike. I think you're right, 6 or 7. I think, were they on 39?
Yeah, so when I did
45 would be enough for them.
When I reran my models earlier, I haven't done it for this league. Damn it.
To be fair, if they don't stay up, they need to look at themselves there, because they've accumulated enough points now, and teams around them have been shite. So
got to pull it in. Right, let's get into the Isthmian South East Division. Results on Saturday. Ashford United beat Eastbourne Town by 2-1. Hassocks went down 2-1 at home to Beckenham Town. Hastings United beat East Grinstead by 3-0. Crowborough Athletic won 3-1 at Margate. Three Bridges thrashed Erith Town 5-1, and Broadbridge Heath beat VCD Athletic 3-1. On Tuesday evening, East Grinstead Town went down 9-0 at Deal Town, second territory, Mike. Hassocks went down 2-0 at home to Faversham Town. Mersham drew 1-1 with Eastbourne Town. This coming Saturday, Hastings United head to Beckenham Town. Broadbridge Heath host Margate. Crowborough Athletic at home to AFC Whiteleaf. East Grinstead Town at home to BCD Athletic. Eastbourne Town host Faversham Town. Hassocks head to Jersey Bulls for a 4 p.m. kickoff, and Three Bridges head to Sittingbourne on Tuesday evening. Three Bridges are at Beckenham Town. Broadbridge Heath host AFC Whiteleaf, and Crowborough Athletic host Ashford United. Mike, you were at... Huh?
Did you say 4 p.m. kickoff? Hassocks are away to Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey are always 4 p.m. kickoffs.
Oh, no.
Always, yeah. They're always 4 p.m. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube, though. Mike, you were at Hastings United against East Grinstead United. In the commentary box, did you keep it clean is the first question we need to ask.
First and foremost, thanks to Hastings United and Hastings Radio for sorting that out. The commentary, yes, I managed to keep a full 95, 96 minutes, whatever it was, clean, no swearing, which, to be fair, I didn't know I had it in me, because I have a foul mouth, as you've probably seen from a few times already on this pod. I loved it. I was more of the Brazilian, the goal type one. The more and more I got into it, more and more I absolutely loved it. So if there's any clubs out there that fancy, want to take on, let me jump in and do some commentary in there. I would love to do more. I really, really would love to do more. Even if you haven't got a radio phone, we can get it set up and do the stream instead. But look, I had wonderful hospitality at Hastings. Shout out to Billy Wood, the infamous Billy Wood. He was there. He made sure. Look, learned a lot about the club, the plans they've got, some of the players, met a few players and that, and some of the old folks, some of the old fans. Like there's a couple in their 90s that sit in front of the radio box, the old Moxham position, and they've been coming there for like 25 years. It's a ball ache to get to from Worthing, I tell you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I've done it a few times.
But I had a lovely burger and chips, coffee, a banana cake, a banana and chocolate cake. I didn't have a pint. I actually took the duties seriously. Didn't drink on the job, and shout out to Hastings Radio for letting me do that. Loved it, absolutely loved it. East Grinstead, this has been electrified. East Grinstead, look, they're a club going through transition. Yeah, I know they got another walloping last night, but I actually spoke to Andy. I spoke to some of the committee members there. There is a clear plan for next season. Okay, they had 17-year-olds playing in that team. They did, and I tell you what, if it weren't for Harry Haynes, they could have gone one up in the first half. New signing Walsh. Where's he from? Is it Margate? For Hastings. He was doing bits in there. He was good. Jordan Mace. He was brilliant in the midfield. Chapman out wide. Pigeon at the back. Really, it was strong.
Was Eugene back alongside Pigeon?
Sorry?
Was Eugene back alongside Pigeon?
Yes.
Good player, like him.
Yeah.
Like him.
Yeah. And Haynes and Haynes saved the penalty as well. So that East Grinstead had their chances. But I think we said our point on them, let's not beat a dog whilst it's down. They are, they know where they're going to be, and they're already in place now. What's the point in chucking money at a team when you're going down? You might as well just burn it, just like I burn money at the pub. It's just like that. And there was no indication as well, no indication from any of the committee members or hierarchy up there that there was going to be a change in management, that Andy will still be there leading the thing. He told me a list of players that they have got near verbals for next season. Now, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, if they drop down, what kind of league would the Prem be this year? Say if Littlehampton dropped down. Yeah? Say if Hassocks dropped back down. Say if East Grinstead dropped down. Say if one of Stenning or Hayward Heath don't go up. Or Guernsey or something like that. That's going to be some league to get out of. It really is. But yeah, I had a great time. Any clubs out there you want me to come? Come on. I won't completely destroy your reputation.
The only thing I'd say about the East Grinstead situation, Mike, and I know we've talked about it enough and everything, and again, no blame put towards Andy or anything like that. I think if anything, he's been what's the word? Not shafted, but he's been put in a bit of a compromising position all season. Him and Grant,
I agree.
I think.
And he's a really good guy, isn't he?
Yeah. Andy's lovely. Yeah. The only thing I'm looking at, like last night, I've got a tiny vested interest in Deal because I write for their program. I've been over there, lovely people, really nice place, and that. And I'm looking at last night, and if I haven't got to play East Grinstead this season, and I'm looking at Deal have managed to pump 9 in the net, which does their goal difference a world of good, and Deal aren't a million miles away from that playoff place either.
No, they're really not. They're really not.
You kind of get on the realms of the integrity of the league, because if someone else misses out by 3 or 4 goals because they've played East Grinstead in this part of the season where they're leaking 6, 7, 8, 9 every week, and if you go back maybe 2 or 3 months, they were getting beaten, but it was 5s and 6s. Those goals make a difference. And again, I say it's nothing levelled at Andy or anything that's gone on there, but in terms of the integrity of a competition, it is almost compromised.
I don't know. I see where you're coming from, 100%. You're not playing the East Grinstead team of 6 months ago. Playing a vastly weakened team. Let's get that damn Perry playing. Do you know people like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I looked at the team sheet last night, and there weren't many names on there that I recognised. There were a few, maybe half a team at best. So you're effectively only three on the bench. Again, I know Deal's a long way on a Tuesday night as well. But you've literally got those 3 changes. That's it. You've got no choices when you can use 5 subs as well. So there's just that little bit from a competitive point of view. It's not helping everyone else out.
No, I get that. But that's not going to change. That's not going to change for the rest of the season. I spoke to East Grinstead's youth manager, and his son was on the bench. He's a great little player. I think what they're trying to do now, they've accepted fate, and they're going to blood youngsters in. They're not going to give a toss about any other team in the league, whether it compromises things, whether you're not playing the same quality. Teams can boost their goal difference, things like that. They're not going to give one toss about that. They are already building for next year, blooding those youngsters in. So they've got to do what they've got to do. But let's not take away the fact that they missed a penalty against Hastings United, and they also should have gone 1 up after 30 minutes. Again, Harry in goal, XYM goalie there. He was phenomenal. They had their chance. They just looked a bit leggy. I mean, Omar, big Omar, who plays up front.
My fault.
Yeah, big lad. Solid. He was running his heart out. Really running his heart out, and his legs went by like 70 minutes. Pretty heavy pitch as well. But yeah, I mean, but on the other hand, good win for Dave because he needed that. He needed that. He really did.
I think because I listened to a bit as well on Saturday.
What the commentary I was doing?
Yeah.
Why
do you think he muted those bits and then come back to the bit where the other guy was talking?
Well, that was why I messaged you about Tom Vickers, because you were singing Tom Vickers' praises, and he's obviously a player I know well from his time down at town.
Mate, he hasn't played for about a year, innit? Or something like that.
No, I know. Yeah, we let him. Well, Hastings came in and pinched about 4 players off us. He was one, and then obviously he got straight injured. And
mate, he's mustard.
I know. Well, again,
Dijon. He is proper Dijon.
He's a proper player. But I mean, from the bits I listened to, it was just after Hastings had gone 3 up, and I think I'd never heard a bar getting hit so much since that time we were at Ringmer, and you were involved. No, and it was, but Hastings were really knocking on the door, weren't they? It weren't just.
Oh yeah. Oh look, Hastings. If Hastings had come away 6-0 winners or 6-1, you wouldn't have turned a blind eye to it. I predicted 4-0. And after the first half, it was 3-0.
3 at half time, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but 3-0 didn't completely flatter East Grinstead. Let's not be too harsh on them. But Hastings needed those points.
Big game for them this weekend as well, away at Beckenham.
Yeah, huge.
Which is massive. Well, I was at Sussex against Faversham on Tuesday night. Very even game in the first half. Wasn't a lot of chances at either end. Double sending off, 1 for each side. Fully justified. Late tackle from the Sussex player. Faversham player then decides to wade in and push someone over. So he went red for that one.
That's a soft red, isn't it? Those are soft ones. If you're going to do it properly.
Well, he did. He did. He waded in, and he yeah, but he didn't need to be in there. And I'll tell you, and we'll come back to that particular point later on in the bit, because there's something that you've got two crossovers where referees didn't meet up in the middle. It really opened up the second half, playing 10 against 10, and Hassocks should have been in front. They hit the post. They had about 4 or 5 shots blocked. Faversham lived a bit of a charmed life. And then Faversham broke away and scored through Nathan Wood. So that opened it up even more. Hassocks then had to go for it, left themselves open on the counter a couple of times, and did get punished and lost 2-0. But there wasn't much to choose between them in the first half. I missed out on boardroom hospitality because X didn't tell me I got a direct message from Owen and Pat to say come up and have it. By the time I saw it, players were coming out for the second half. So
there's been a lot of issues with X lately as well, and we're streaming in there.
It's actually streaming fine tonight. Streaming fine. I've been on that look when we started, so that seems to sort itself out a bit. But the daft thing is, my messages will work on the laptop. They'll show up straight away, but they won't show up when I'm on my mobile. And I've tried changing all my settings and everything, and it still don't work. But anyway, so I did message Pat this evening and say thank you for the offer, but it didn't let me know that I was there. So thank you guys anyway.
That's wonderful, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He extended that to us.
That you want to have in your club, isn't he? And
a
player who knows what the fans want. You know, he's match day things. He's brilliant. I've got to dip out a second, lads, because stupidly, and I'm not very good with the old tech.
Go get your charger. It's all right. We'll have the show together as we normally do anyway.
At least he's not in charge of developing an app or anything.
No. Heaven forbid, what on earth could go wrong?
I sign the checks. That's all I do.
Yeah.
The outsource as well. No, I mean, on Hassocks, they've actually got like a mid-table defence, like 12th best defence in the league. Which considering
it was decent last night. But there wasn't. They're a bit lacking at the top end of the pitch, which I think they'll agree with a little bit. But the chances they had second half, if they'd have gone in front, I think they probably would have gone on to have won it, because it would have again opened up the game even more, because Faversham would have had to have come out. But it's those fine margins that I think a lot of teams have found when they go from step 5 to 4. You've got to take them, and you've got to not create so many mistakes, because you will get punished, and that is the big difference.
Massively. They've never really. I can't think of many occasions where a Hassocks result has stood out as being poor.
No.
And I say this as an Eastbourne Town fan, and I as somebody who thinks that June McDonald's done a phenomenal job, and everyone at Town has, but we've been on the end of a few slappings this season. And they stand out. There's not that many offhand I can remember for Hassocks. By the way, they've messaged me saying that a few of their fans are actually going out to Jersey as early as tomorrow, so they're
I saw reading their program this evening as well. But they put in there that a few of them are going out like on Thursday as well, which I'm like, blimey, that's absolutely blinding. Really,
yes, in there, the Hassocks people, go on, having it proper.
If they come back with a result from that as well, when you read Pat's program column in the paper as well, he actually talks about he spent more this week being like a travel rep than he has everything else. But Jersey have been absolutely fantastic, giving them help and everything. So there we go. Right, Isthmian South Central time. Results on Saturday. Danny Holland's Bognor Regis picked up a point in his first game of a 1-1 draw against Westfield, and Littlehampton Town went down 2-1 at home to Hendon. This coming Saturday, both sides are on the road. Littlehampton Town head over the border to AFC Porchester, and Bognor Regis Town head to Hartley Whitney. Point, Mike, for Danny Holland's is Bognor against promotion chasing Westfield. Not a bad start, really.
Yes, it's a good start. I was surprised that Jamie left. Obviously, you had the inside scoop on it. You called that he was going to come in. He's obviously been involved with the club as well.
Yeah,
but at the same time, they're not completely out of trouble.
No.
You know, Statman, what's it going to take to stay up in this league?
What's it going to take to stay up in this league? That's a good question. I reckon 45. Sorry, hang on, my children are going behind us. 45 is what I've got it at.
45. So that they're going to need another 5 points. They're going to get safety. That's going to be fine. Are they going to kick on next year? They've got the new ground, the new pitch laid out.
Yeah.
Trev, they've got fantastic fans over there that, you know, that have had success, ups and downs, you know, the Jack Pearce era, all things like that. Surely that club has to kick on next year.
I think they will under Dutchy. I know when Ben Strevens was manager at Eastleigh, Danny Hollands was his skipper while he was there in the National League. Very good football brain he's got as well. I think it's what they need as well. It's a fresh direction of somebody that's not connected. He's played 2 or 3 times for Bognor this season, but beyond that, he's got no connection to the club whatsoever. I think actually coming away from having somebody that's either played for them, managed them in the past, coached them in the past, you can then go in a completely different direction. And then obviously, you know, him being at Gosport Borough as well and over that way, you've then got the pull of players as well from that direction. And, you know, the fact that a lot of people will know him as well, be interested to see who comes in on his coaching staff as well. Paul Hinchelwood's gone this week, I know, who was number 2. Yeah, which I'm not surprised at as well. But he's also got, he's got a 2-month audition period, you know, for those players to actually prove, 1, they're good enough, 2, they're a Danny Hollands type of player, or 3, ship out and he'll bring players in that will be able to do it next year.
Yeah, I mean, what do you reckon the decision was made for Jamie to leave? Because I thought it was all rosy there with him.
I don't know. I've spoken to a few people and said the post matches were very much the same every week. In what was said, I haven't listened to all of them. I ain't got time to listen to everyone's post match, pre match, and everything. But the thing is, a lot of those players were his signings, you know. And if you're not getting a tune out of them, the only thing you can do is walk away. You know, as simple as that. But again, a bit like a couple of clubs, you know, it's been the consistency issue, picking up a couple of results and then not picking up a couple of results. And that, again, will be why they're not quite safe yet, because they just haven't managed to string a whole set of results together. And that bounce coming back home just hasn't happened yet either.
It didn't happen.
No. Well, it happened for the first game they came back and won, and then it's like fallen apart since, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll be short of jobs, though, or job offers. I think I wouldn't see him jumping straight into a role. But
I could see him popping up at Eastbourne Borough, helping Robbie potentially, maybe for the rest. But then he also
just about to say,
yeah. But then he also left Bognor when Robbie was there, so you know, something there, something not.
I think there'll be a few jobs coming up in the summer that might tempt him. Do you know where he's based? Yeah.
No, I go somewhere between Portsmouth and Bognor kind of way, I'd say, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. Well,
I'm honest.
I ain't bothered if he gets a job or not. I'm not his Bees fan.
No, I don't think you were anyway.
he's a fan of me, so what? Anyway, I wish him luck.
There we go. Now, we talked about Littlehampton last week, needing to win on Saturday against one of their relegation rivals. Great crowd at Sportsfield, 270 odd, but didn't go their way, Chris.
No, that looks like it might be a killer, because it's really put them up against it now. I reckon they've got a 48% chance of going down.
That's quite high.
It's fairly high. Look,
but that means they've got a 52% chance of staying up.
They have for another week, mate. but they go to Portchester this weekend, who are in flying form, aren't they, Chris?
I looked. I don't think I think their fixtures are possibly among the worst in the league. They've still got yeah, because as you say, they're at Portchester at the weekend. They've got Leatherhead, Moneyfield, Hayes, and Yedding still left. So that's 4 of the top 5 who are massively adrift of everybody else. I think since sort of December time, well, the last 15, they've only taken 12 points.
Yeah, they haven't won since New Year's. Since that game at Bognor, Mike, on New Year's Day when they were brilliant. They haven't won.
You were
since.
there, weren't you?
Yeah, they were brilliant that day, but they haven't won since.
I'm backing Mitch.
I know you are.
And
I know, yeah, but
I'll have a friendly bet with anyone, low stakes, because I'm broke.
I think, do you know, I was actually looking at the Southeast table for last year. And I think what they finished 1-2 places, I think, above the bottom four in the end. They were safe with a few games to go. And I think they finished about 6 points clear in the end. But it seems like the whole season's repeating itself again, just in a different division.
Yeah, but the one thing, sorry to jump in there, just quickly. One thing, when I spoke to Mitch pre-season, he said, I don't know a lot about the teams that we're going into, but they don't know a lot about us either. Yeah. So it's interesting. There's no denying that they've got the players to get them out of the trouble. You know,
well, the only thing I don't think they've got is a goal scorer. That's what is really, really hampering them.
Is Gaskin play at the weekend?
No, he hasn't been playing for a few weeks. He's not fit. And they brought Kieran Pammon in from East Grinstead during the week, but Kieran's not a great goal scorer, and he's really, for me, he's a 10. He's not a man up top. So that's where they've really, really lacked. And as we said last week, Mike, when you weren't here, it's the form of Binfield and Kingstonian around them that is the problem, and they've got games in hand. I mean, Binfield actually lost last night, Chris, so that actually gave them a slight bit of help. But you know, they are just playing well.
Well, Kingstonian
last night
are winning. No, they're winning tonight. Yeah, they were 2-1 down at home to Ascot, but they're now 3-2 up.
But they had three wins out of 4, didn't they? So you know, you wouldn't have expected that.
So they'll now have 3 points plus a goal difference cushion on Littlehampton. I mean, Littlehampton, from what I remember from last season, I think they started okay, and then they started slow, but I think there was always a bit of maybe they had games in hand, whatever. There was always a feeling among you guys that they'd survive and they'd pull themselves clear, and that they did, because they had goals in the side, and now it just doesn't.
Not one player scored 10 goals in the Littlehampton side.
Who's got the most?
Well, they're not even on the league register.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, you're right. It is goals.
Yeah. It's that I remember flagging in one of my stat shows earlier in the season that they were blanking in half the games. So it was in that.
Well, we said most of the season, haven't we, Chris? Their games contain 3 goals. It's which way, whether it's a 1-2, 2-1, or a 0-3, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, quite. And they've kind of improved on that front. Like, they do score more often than not now. I think they've only blanked once in the last 8 or 9. But it's now looking like a bit of a tall order, which is not. It's not where they want to be. And like a couple of weeks ago, they only had a 17% chance of going down. And now that's 48. Dave Herbert's the top scorer with 9.
And he was playing the county leagues for Arundel last year.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on into the county leagues, and we'll start in the Southern Combination at Premier Division. Results last Saturday: Guernsey beat Haywards Heath Town by 3-1. AFC Vardinians and Midhurst and Eastbourne shared a 0-0 draw. Lingfield went down 5-2 at Bexhill United. Crawley Down Gatwick beat Little Common by 2-0. As we mentioned earlier, Eastbourne United beat Horsham by 1-0. New Haven beat Lancing 3-0. Shoreham went down 3-1 at Pagham. Peacehaven and Telston beat Wick by 5-1. Roffey and Seaford Town was postponed, and Stenning Town beat Forest Road by 2-0. On Tuesday evening, as we mentioned in the Senior Cup quarter-final, Horsham Wine went down 5-0 at home to Eastbourne Borough. In the Sussex FARUR Charity Cup semi-final, Haywards Heath Town beat Roffey by 2-1. In the Premier Division, Eastbourne United beat AFC Vardinians by the same scoreline, and Crawley Down Gatwick beat Lancing by 3-2. This coming Saturday, Crawley Down Gatwick are at Guernsey for a 2 p.m. kickoff. Bexhill host Roffey. Haywards Heath Town at home to Shoreham. Horsham YM head to Little Common. Midhurst and Eastbourne host Peacehaven and Telscombe. Pagham against Eastbourne United. And Wick are at home to Lingfield. On Tuesday evening, the Peter Bentley Cup semi-final, it's Little Common against Pagham at Stenning Town. In the Premier Division, Crawley Down Gatwick host Lingfield. Horsham YM are at home to Midhurst and Eastbourne. Wick against AFC Vardinians, all 7:30 kickoffs, and Seaford Town against Peacehaven and Telscombe, which is 8 p.m. at New Haven FC. Just before we get into the Premier Division, Mike, you were at the RUR Cup semi-final game between Roffey and Haywards Heath, and he's turning into a bit of the last-minute winning team.
Well, first and foremost, a big fat fuck you to Southern Rail for making me wait 45 minutes at Vivelsfield Station because there was something wrong with the thing. So I missed the first half and absolutely fuming. And then, obviously, normally when I go to Burgess Hill, I'm with a few people. Yeah, so I didn't even know how to get there from the station. So I jumped in Uber. So I had a nightmare logistically.
Mike, there's this thing on your phone called apps, you see, that have maps that tell you how to get there.
But I've had enough trouble with apps already this season, yeah. So, but what first, I turned up, saw Roffey chairman, Peter Gibbs, and his wonderful wife, Helen, there. Roffey were 1-0 up in the first half. And then, look, it was a very fiercely contested game. Not dirty, but fiercely contested game.
I think they always are between those two sides, aren't they?
But look, don't forget, Roffey have beaten twice already this year.
Exactly.
Jack Mundy, bless him. The amount of injuries he's had in his team this year, it's ridiculous. He picked up another couple last night as well. But Haywards Heath were doing what Haywards Heath do, It was looking a bit rocky until the 85th minute. Tom Shelley,
the boy with one off his face.
And if Tom's listening, shout out to Tom because we left the club late last night, and me being a logistic maestro missed the train, so Tom Shelley had to drive me home all the way to work. So shout out to him. He's got a massive shiner on his thing.
Tom, if you're listening, put the bill in. He signs the checks. Remember?
Yeah, well, to be fair, me and his dad had a few scoops last night anyway. So, and his dad's always quality.
John is. Yeah,
he's a legend. And then Schumann right at the end did bits. Take nothing away from Roffey. They battled real hard. Don't forget though, Heath were missing people like Barnes. Had a nice chat with Barnes, the skipper. He's a really good guy, that lad. He's a really, really good guy. I'll tell you what, focus ain't changed. They know what they've got to do. It just gives it a little bit more spice now, in league-wise. What with the Stenning and the Guernsey thing, that's looking a cracker on April the 6th, isn't it? That game could be a cup final. And obviously, who was in the other side of the cup, of that cup? Is that Worthing?
Yeah, you are. It's Worthing United and Selsey.
Yeah, cool. That'd be tough for either team in that. You'd be putting Stanman, you'd be putting them 4-7 on, wouldn't you, Heath? At least.
Oh, yeah. Probably even shorter than that.
If not 4-9, yeah. But a nice caught up with Kev at the end, Kev Green. So look, good performance, good battle, and they needed that because they took a few pelters online. They took a few pelters, although they went tough. Always tough going away to Guernsey, always. And they've had a couple of results. I mean, surely in a minute we're going to talk about Peacehaven quickly, aren't we? As well, the run they're on. But good, really good game. Lovely hospitality. Saw Steve as well, chairman, Isherwood there, Munsey, all that lot. And they did Cruisy Campo in the Burgess Hill bar. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I love a Cruisy.
Nice.
But yeah, good game. But didn't see the first half.
Because your boy won't rely on a match report then.
Well, you never get one off me anyway when I'm there.
No, I know, but it's a good job I wasn't relying for a change.
It's like I go radio silent, don't I?
Yeah, you do, yeah. Right, one managerial departure last week as well. Liam Joyce stepping down at Lingfield. Kind of took me a little bit by surprise because Lingfield not been doing too bad. Have been steady under Liam since he come in as well. But I know they were 2-1 up at half time at Lingfield, and then Bexhill tore them apart in the second half. So whether that had something to do with it or not, I don't know. I haven't spoken to Rich. But he picked up a good point on Tuesday night at Midhurst, and that movement now at the bottom, Crawley Down Gatwick are eking their way from the bottom. So are Midhurst and Eastbourne. It's almost becoming, Chris, a gap of about 3 or 4 sides that are going to contest that bottom 2 spaces at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Crawley Down are now 5 unbeaten, Midhurst 6. I think, the changes that have obviously happened at those clubs seem to be paying dividends. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I can't see Crawley Down getting right back into this now. They're now 10 points clear. They're 10 clear now. I think they'll be fine. I think Midhurst will be all right, to be honest. They're 8 clear. It's, for me now, I think, even Lingfield, I've got no real, fear for Lingfield. I think they'll be okay. I think for me, it'll be Van Dinian, Shaw and Lantin. But there's quite a few games between those bottom 6 clubs still remaining, or even the bottom 4. Like, I think the Easter weekend, Shoreham and Lancing have both got games that are more winnable than some other games in the league, let's say. So it's going to be that Easter weekend, I think, it's going to be spicy at both ends of the table.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see it. I mean, I sent Rich a message. Rich, the chairman at Lingfield, he explained about Joycey and that. It's all good. It's all love in there. It was just a direction. But I'll be looking forward to seeing a couple of teams that both need points on Saturday.
You will, as you mentioned, though, Mike, Peacehaven are on a horrendously good run at the moment. Is it 10 wins in a row, Mr. Statman?
Is that a Cruisey Camper?
Yeah.
Yes.
10 on. I think it's 10 on the bounce, and it's Statman.
10 on the bounce, 11 unbeaten. Yeah.
These boys doing bits down there.
I mean, I saw them in the game against Hayward Heath, and I mean they were full value for that. They were brilliant that night.
And they had a goal disallowed, didn't they? That should have been a goal.
What about disallowed as just not seen because it bounced out the goal? Yeah, they were brilliant that night. They'll be in the playoffs, no doubt. The playoffs are going to be great fun.
Oh, mate. I mean, let's put some respect on their name. We maybe it's one club we don't mention enough about. Peacehaven, in there. But you cannot not talk about them when you go on a 10-win run. Because I saw them play earlier in the season. They lost 3-0 to YM away. They played YM about 1,000 times this season. In different things. But they've turned a massive corner. No one will want to play them in the playoffs. I mean, no one.
I don't think, to be honest, any of those 4 sides will want to play each other because on their merits, all 4 of those sides are good enough to win promotion this year. Whichever 4 sides it finishes, obviously, depending on which of the top 2 it finishes, it's going to be. And do you know what's the only really annoying thing is that obviously both semi-finals are going to be on the same night.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
We have to split up on that then.
We're going to have to split them, yeah. But potentially as well, though, Division 1 may well be on the same night as well. The only difference in days will be the finals. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
We're going to have to one of us doing at each match and 2 with me because I don't do match reports. So, yeah.
You say that, but if one of them's in Guernsey, that can get a swift no straight off the bat.
One's in Guernsey, I will go to that one.
Yeah, you've done that one. I think one of us will have a go with that.
And I've done Jersey, so I'm happy to let that one go.
It won't be Gaz. It'll be too far outside his bubble for a start.
Yeah,
and it's over water, so there's not a chance of that, is there?
But look, that playoff settings,
The
one thing
that almost, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be brilliant. I was going to say you'd fear for YM, but actually no, because they've already won in Guernsey. So actually no, they'd be perfectly fine on a 3G because they're the only one there with a grass pitch, I think.
Oh right, okay. Let me look
No,
at it.
Haywood's got grass, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm working on the 4 that are currently in there. Sorry, Stenning. But yeah, you're right. Hayward Heath have grass as well.
The importance, though, of taking that number 1 spot for the lottery that you're going to get in those playoffs, because those teams, you know, no one's going to want to play a Guernsey. No one's going to want to play a YM. No one's going to want to play a Sennin or a Hayward Heath. No one's going to want to play.
Isn't it?
It's,
you know, are we saying, lads?
Yeah, this is why he's not going, Gilesy. Don't worry. We'll keep him safe on the mainland, and he's off the
as hard
booze.
as me. That's what it is.
Hey?
They can't party as hard as me. They just got rid of me because they knew, you know, I was a problem out there.
Well, yeah, but we've been trying it for 2 years. But anyway, go on, carry on.
I mean, this to me is looking like the most exciting end of a Prem race that I've seen in years. You know, these playoffs are going to be box office. They really are.
But don't forget last year though, Eastbourne United came out of nowhere and got to the playoff final last year. So we're not going to have that kind of jeopardy this year. I think we're all pretty much agreed it's going to be.
Are we saying that the playoff places are where they are at the moment?
Yeah, there's too much for anyone to do to get in.
My model is saying that. Yeah. You know, nothing against Pagham or Eastbourne United or whatever, but yeah, my model is basically saying it's nailed.
Yeah, I mean, I think if anyone else wants to get in there, they've got to put Peacehaven's run together to get there. That's pretty much it. To be fair.
So I'm not. I've already been asked. Who doesn't?
I'll tell you now.
It changes every week.
Well, looking at the expected points I've got for the 4 sides, right? I mean, other than the top two are split by 1.5 points. Then you've got Guernsey on 81.9, Peacehaven on 81.8, and Horsham on 81.7. Like, they cannot be split. So, yeah, those 3, it just cannot split them at all. So, it's going to be fun.
That's nice, isn't it?
I mean, what's the implications for the clubs that don't go up?
That don't, they'll have to do it again next year.
Yeah, no, I understand. What I'm trying to get across is Hayward Heath feel they have to go up. Stennin come down, they feel like they have to go up. Guernsey are well done, City let me down in that bet. Cheers. Drawing with Forest. Guernsey come down. You know, clubs like Wyam want to go up. Peacehaven want to go up. There's going to be a few people disappointed, big time.
But one thing they've all got in common is they've all played step 4 football before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guernsey are the anomaly because they could easily be shunted across to the combined counties next year. So we may not see them. They may have an easier path over there to go up next year. That's the bit that kind of throws it out for me because you don't know where Guernsey are going to go next year, whether they've got another shot with us or whether they end up that way because of what's happened in the pyramid above moves them that way. And again, it depends. Sorry, Chris, just going to say before you do. And also it depends on which sides finish in the bottom 4 in the Isthmian South East. If you only end up with one Sussex side, then the chances are we're going to keep Guernsey. But then if Littlehampton finish in the bottom 4 in the South Central, the chances are we'll end up with 2 clubs back. So Guernsey will shun back that way. So many bits to, that are outside of everyone's control basically at the moment to be able to know.
Yeah, it's permutations.
Yeah, permutations. That's it. Yeah.
That was what I was going to say. It was just about what Littlehampton do, what Sussex do, so all these questions to which we don't have answers yet.
Can you see?
Yes.
Obviously, there's only 2 that are going up.
Yep.
And there's some big managers in there in that league. Managers, coaching staff that quite clearly could manage at a higher level. Could you see some departures? I could.
I suppose it depends what comes up above. Without knowing who's looking at changing, I mean, there'll be 1 or 2 that you don't expect to disappear from a club and will. And again, it depends on who drops down from step 3 into 4, because there'd be a few jobs going there at different clubs as well. And again, what those clubs are that are in that 4 to go. Like, again, there's so many permutations at the moment as to what could happen, as to who could go where or not go where, or give it another stab or end up in a different division. It's just so up in about 4 weeks' time, it'd be a little bit clearer. The best thing to do is to follow the spreadsheets that Peter Miller used to do, which are now under non-league HQ. They put the permutations all the way from step 1 of the National League, all the way through every division from step 1 to 6. And then obviously it changes week on week if teams move in the relegation zone and promotion places. So basically what it does...
You send me a link to that. You send me a link to that when you get a chance.
Yeah, if you go onto nonleaguehq.com, I'll put it in the group chat, you'll find it on there. But it's brilliant because it gives you a rough idea, and you look at it and you go, Christ, I wouldn't even have thought of moving them from that division laterally over to that one. This is where the Guernsey bit came from.
That was where the Guernsey thing,
yeah, a little bit in there. And I was like, ooh. See, then that's when, because obviously we were talking about it a couple of weeks before the season finished, because Guernsey were in that bottom 4 and it was projected against what they were there. But obviously it changes week on week because teams move out the relegation zone, drop into it. But that affects everyone else all the way through.
The only thing it struggled with, I think, was the situation with Red Hill, Jersey, and Whiteleaf, because no one could know what was going on.
Oh yeah, because that was all the FA took ages for that, didn't they?
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the National League at the moment, perfect split between 2 North, 2 South. Last year, where we had 3 South and 1 North, it skewed everything for everyone all the way through to the very bottom. So, providing that stays as it is, it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Going back to that point as well, I think there'll be a couple of teams, maybe one, maybe 2, that if they can't match the ambition for whatever reason,
like
things like that, next season, they might lose coaching staff.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. But it might be also a club where you might not expect it to happen as well, because it's created a vacancy is created somewhere else, or someone else has gone, right, can you match my ambition here? No, I'm moving on.
I'll tell you the one manager it won't be, and that's Guernsey's. It won't be him.
No.
He's done, 650 games?
Yeah.
He's like the mayor of Guernsey over there. Do you know what I mean? Everyone, and he has control of all of the pyramid down there. He has people in their schools. He knows about the kids that are coming up at 10, 11 years old. Obviously, it's a lot easier if you're on an island. So it won't be him. But there's a few coaching staffs in there that could definitely do higher. And
absolutely, yeah. And not necessarily in Sussex as well. There'd be Kent, there'd be Surrey, there'd be Wessex vacancies as well.
Totally agree.
Right.
Interesting.
Very, yeah. Right, let's get into Division 1 of the Southern Combination.
Good job. We didn't have a guest tonight, isn't it? Bloody hell.
Well, I did say we've got plenty to talk about. And we still got one to add into this little debate bit in this bit as well. Right, on Friday night, AFC Accrington Town beat Copthorne by 6 goals to 3. On Saturday, the games at Billingshurst, East Preston and Jarvis Brook were postponed. Loxford beat Ringmount AFC by 3 goals to 2. Oakwood and Godalming Town drew 1-1, and Reigate Priory beat Worthing United by 2 goals to 1. On Tuesday evening in the Sussex RUR Charity Cup semi-final, Worthing United and Selsey was postponed. In the Division 1 Challenge Cup semi-final, AFC Walcountenings beat Godalming Town by 3 goals to 1, so they will face Oakwood in the final.
They're flying at the moment, aren't they?
Walcountenings, yeah. In Division 1, Jarvis Brook won 2-1 at East Preston. Arundel and Infinity was postponed. This coming Saturday, AFC Walcountenings host Selsey, Ringmount AFC head to Arundel, Billingshurst host Mile Oak, Copthorne are at home to Jarvis Brook, Dorking Wanderers B host East Preston, Infinity travel to Godalming Town, Loxford host Worthing United, AFC Uckfield Town head to Oakwood for a 2 p.m. kickoff, and Reigate Priory are at Saltdean United on Tuesday evening. East Preston against Ringmer AFC and Reigate Priory versus Oakwood 7:30 kickoffs. Then Arundel host Loxwood, Billingshurst head to Godalming Town, Infinity are at home to Saltdean United, and Selsey are at home to AFC Uckfield Town. Right, me and Gaz were at Loxwood against Ringmer on Saturday afternoon in the beautiful sunshine. We bought sunshine, Mike. They were quite happy. We bought sunshine, we bought goals, and we bought them 3 points as well. So they weren't very impressed with you from the week before. But that's
I think they love me, actually, to be fair. So
we heard different. We heard different. And we were there as match sponsors for the afternoon as well. Gaz and I have been to Loxwood. What?
No, I'm saying match sponsors. Oh,
match sponsors, yeah. Gaz and I have been to Loxwood earlier in the season on the hop. So it's the first time we've been back since then. Nice soft pitch.
I want to hear about the burger review.
Yeah, that's coming up. That's coming up.
Hear about that.
Yeah, really soft pitch. Really didn't lend itself to playing nice, pretty football, and both sides played or tried to play nice, pretty football on it. And there were some moments it actually come off. It really won the day for that. It was get it out the pitch. But
mad game.
Yeah, mad game. Not much in the first 30 minutes whatsoever. Ringmer then took the lead. And then one of their players got himself sent off. He was on a yellow card for a handball, and then flew in with a challenge. Referee right to send him off. Now, at this point is where I'm going to bring you back to the Sussex game, where one of the Loxwood players pushed the Ringmer player to the floor. Now, last night at Sussex, it was a red card. On Saturday at Loxwood, nothing at all. Now, Gaz has it on camera, obviously because he was catching a lot of content, and we picked up a lot of things as well that people didn't see, which was brilliant, actually. It's really, really good.
I did as well when I was there the week before. I put something really funny.
Yeah, so that was one of those moments where you've got two referees who should be using the same rule book but apply them differently. So this is where people's inconsistency is a problem.
Okay. When we're saying I wasn't at either game, when you're pushing someone, I mean, is it close contact? You're pushing them away, or is it violently pushing? Because there's a grey area there. Both were with intent. Both were red cards for me. Both were red cards because it's retaliation. Retaliation is a red card. There is no getting around it. That is the law. You go. You don't put your hands on another player. I bet Haddon and Harty were not happy about that.
Probably wouldn't have been. I don't know whether they. So it was close. Well, it was quite close to their dugout, as it was. But my opinion should have gone. It was the same last night. Referee acted right last night. Didn't get it right. I don't think on Saturday. It wasn't great on Saturday anyway. If Gaz had been here, he'd have called it out. I mean, as it was, come out for the second half and forgot his whistle. He had to go back into the change room.
And this is where Gaz went viral, didn't he?
This is where Gaz went viral. About 75,000 views.
I think it's nearly 100,000 now, isn't it?
Crazy.
But then again, that ref, he looked like he went to school with Yoda, mate. How old was he?
I know. Anyway, second half, obviously, Ringwood defending with 10 men. Loxwood were pushing and pushing. Nice little equaliser to make it 1-1. 9 minutes later, they were in front, really broke the Ringwood resistance and looked as if they were going to get away with a point because Ringwood didn't really do a lot second half up front. We had numerous stoppages with about, I think, we kicked off as it was at 3 minutes late in the first half. Didn't even kick off on time. So this was a great start from the referee. I'm not joking.
Was he using a pocket watch?
We were still playing, and I'm standing on the sideline retweeting all the full-time scores, and we weren't anywhere close. So anyway, about 98 minutes in, long throw comes into the box, I think it is, and then it gets recycled back in, and Ryan Doyle gets his head on it. Keeper's in no man's land. It ends up in the back of the net. So 2 each. You think Ringmer have escaped with a point, and Loxwood have thrown one away. Referee still playing and playing and playing. Anyway, obviously, Loxwood are going for it with their extra man up.
Well, they got to. They got to.
Huh? Yeah.
They had to.
You got to. And obviously, Ring were out on their feet defending with their 10. Anyway, goes through. I think it was Maunder again, Jamie Maunder, who got the equaliser, goes through, strikes it really well, beats Steph Akras, comes back off the post, and you think that's it. It's done. No, rebound straight to Michael Wood, hammers it home, 3-2. Strike out, have time to kick off. And the ball goes forward a couple of times, I think, and that's it. Referee blew his whistle. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Was Ian Matthews happy with that? Was he?
Ian was. He thought they got away with one there. He thought they got away with one there. Yeah,
popped up in the chat.
Has he? There we go. There we go. But yeah, first half 8 minutes added, second half 12 minutes. Yeah, absolutely crazy. I think he was right with the amount of time he added on because there were a lot of injuries.
20 minutes added on.
Yeah. However, at the end of the game, little bit of controversy to add a little bit more to it as well. An allegation of sexual comments made from the Loxwood supporters towards the Ring physio, which was reported to the referee at the end of the game. Again, 4 or 5 people out there, no one's called it out. They've all disappeared by the final whistle. But obviously that'll be going to the county FA as well. So another little bit of a black mark on the...
Again, let's not speculate on anything until things come out.
Absolutely.
Don't get...
Absolutely.
Because
but
again, we can't tarnish a club for...
No, absolutely. Could have been anybody in there, but again, that we'll let that take its course. Hence why we've not said anything about it. The same as we didn't. Sorry,
didn't hear about that. To be fair,
no. Well, it wouldn't have. I don't imagine Tommy's probably not put it out there either. But we were there when it was going off and what was going on. So
did you hear it?
Sorry,
did you hear it?
No, because we were on the sideline over by the stand. It was behind the goal when she came on to treat one of the players, which is one of the stoppages in the second half. But again, we'll let that play its course out as well. But thoroughly great afternoon.
That happened to Beth Chapman, didn't it? Earlier in the
it's
season.
happened to Beth as well. Yeah, last season.
Roffey was wonderful. She's amazing. She saw it last night.
But yeah, so nice afternoon. Like I say, Mike, we brought some goals, some sunshine, and all those sorts of things. So they really loved us.
I like it down there at the Ness. There's it's a
great place to watch football when it's sunny, but not so much when it's November nights.
Really nice, lovely clubhouse. They don't really get the revenue from the clubhouse, to be fair, because it's sort of run separately with the community and things like that. But I had a great time. But I still want to hear about this burger review because I effing rated their Magpie burger.
Well, hang on a minute.
We'll come to that in a second. But can I also say it took us 3 hours to get there because I don't know what Gaz did to the sat nav. It was in his naked barista van.
Where the fuck were you coming from Birmingham?
No, do you know what? Right, he goes to me. He was going to come pick me up from my place in Yapton. So he said. So he then messaged me and said, "Can you drive to my office, which is at Wick, back end of Toddington?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." He said it would save us about half an hour. So I was like, brilliant. Okay. So we got there. I'm not joking. It took us in the arse end of God knows where, because it didn't take me in the route I would normally go. And we passed a housing estate, brand new housing estate. And I went.
You go up on the 24. Just turn. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he didn't. Anyway, so we passed this housing estate and I went, brand new housing estate here. He said they could tap into that. Do you know what? We were driving for miles through the bleeding country. These people have to walk through like 17 fields, past 4 farms, round the silage tanks. They'd have to leave 3 days beforehand to make a Saturday afternoon game. So in the end, we got part of the way. And I said to Gaz, I won't tell him to tap up that housing estate because they'll never make it.
Because it's in like Devon.
That's the one negative. That's the one negative lots would have down there.
Yeah, it's just out in the country.
There's no rail. There's no bus routes. Now, I do know that Mark Lacey, the chairman, has already instigated talks about some kind of bus service or something for the, in there.
That's what you want.
It's a beautiful little place. It really
lovely,
is.
Yeah. So while Gaz might be able to sell a good coffee, you can't follow a fucking sat nav.
Well,
right, let's move.
He's probably not getting these meetings to be able to sell it, is he?
Well, For him, like as a travelling salesman, that's not a good omen. But just unlock.
Mate.
Yeah, but you can. I mean, you know left from right, which evidently based on that story.
Yeah, but not from Wigglesfield to Burgess Hill. Go on, Chris.
Oh, yeah, that's a fair point. But just on Lockswood, you know they took 12 points from their first 14 games, and they've taken 17 from their last 9.
Yeah, he's done really well. Ian Graham down there, Ian Graham, they've done really, really well. I got to go in the week before in their team talk before, and that, and it was lovely insight. It really was. So
I'll put it another way, they'd gone from winning none of their previous 9 to 5 of the last 9.
So I'll tell you one thing.
They've really
look at their next 8 games.
Ow. I feel like I think
they got to play 5 of the top 6 or something like that.
Yeah, I just felt like Homer Simpson when he's been let down the ravine. Ow. Just looking at their fixtures, Arundel, Saltdean, Dorking B, Walkoutians, Jarvis Brook, Infinity, Billingshurst, Godalming, Reigate. I mean, they finished away at Uckfield, so you know.
Well, that won't be on till 2029.
No, but they finished like nearly May.
You haven't had a game on in 2026, have they?
Well, more on that in a minute.
Right, yeah, more on that in a minute. We'll do that. We'll do that a little bit in the end. Right, let's get into the step 7
results.
Burger
review?
Well, where it normally lands in the agenda, read the agenda. I actually read it. Right, Southern Combination Division 2 last week. Games at Alfold, Capel, and Rudwick were all postponed. AFC Brighton Rangers and TD Shipley shared a 3-3 draw. Russington beat Worthing Town by 2-0. Chester City B beat Brighton Electricity 12-0 in the territory. Or was that beyond?
Hang on a minute. That is defo sacking territory.
Or was that beyond?
Well, that's an embarrassment. I think I commented, didn't I? And I went.
He did. And Storrington and Southwater drew 1-1. This coming Saturday in Division 2 Challenge Cup quarter-final, Southwater host Capel. In Division 2, AFC Brighton Rangers at home to Alfold at Lancing. Bosham host Upper Beeding. Worthing Town at Brighton Electricity. Ferring host Storrington. Harrison Town at home to TD Shipley. Well, that's a game, isn't it? That's a game.
Yeah, well, that's the humdinger, isn't it? That's
the humdinger of the weekend. And Rudwick at home to Russington. Then on Tuesday night, there's 3 games. Alfold hosts TD Shipley at 7:30. Chichester City B at home to Bosham, and Storrington at home to Russington. In the Mid-Sussex Premier Division results last weekend, in the Montgomery Cup, Hollington United drew 2-2 at Copthorne seconds and won 4-3 on penalties. Holland Sports and Reigate Pro Reserves was postponed. In the Premier Division, Balkan beat Rotherfield by 4-2. French Athletic and Westfield was postponed. Linfield and Cookfield Rangers shared a 2-2 draw, and Polegate Town won 1-0 at Shoreham seconds. On Tuesday evening, Hollington United won 2-1 at Westfield. This coming Saturday, Westfield have got their chance for revenge in the Sussex Intermediate Cup semi-final, hosting Hollington United again. And in the Premier Division, Cookfield Rangers host Rotherfield. French Athletic head to Polegate Town. Shoreham seconds at home to Holland Sport. And Crowhurst at home to Reigate Pro Reserves at 3 p.m. In the West Sussex Premier Division, results last weekend, Malcolm Sims Memorial Cup, TD Shipley Reserves beat Stedham 1-0 and Wittering United beat Slinfield by 1-0. In the Premier Division, the games at Holbrook of Olympic and Horsham Crusaders was postponed. Petworth had a home walkover against AFC Fishbourne. This coming weekend in the Centenary Cup, Billingshurst Reserves host Huntston, Harting at home to Emsworth Town, and TD Shipley Reserves head to Selsley Reserves. In the Premier Division, Angry at home to Holbrook Olympic, Petworth at home to Horsham Crusaders, AFC Fishbourne head to Wartsfield, and Dell United head to Wittering United. What are you doing at?
Well, mate, I've signed a one game deal with Upper Beeding.
With who?
Upper Beeding.
Upper Beeding?
Signed a one game deal.
A 1 game deal? Where's Chris gone?
I don't know. He's probably pissed off because Man City just blew the fucking league and let Arsenal, the chief bottlers, to probably have their first Premier. Well, yeah. I'm going to be taking a session next week with them.
Are they playing Ferring?
Yeah. And I'm gonna. It's all a content thing. Do you know what I mean? And so I'll be in the dugout for the Ferring v Upper Beeding game, which I'm looking forward to. You know, give me a little bit of the buzz back. It's a 1 game thing only, though, mate. Do you know?
1 game contract, winner takes all.
But yeah, it's no. Spoke to Ryan. We're going to do something there just for that. So yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be funny.
Right, team of the week, sponsored by Singer's Roofing Specialists. Really slim pickings because there weren't a lot that stood out this week, which is one of those weeks where you want someone to pull out a bit of a blinder. So we went for Reigate Priory beating Worthing United by 2-1 because that puts a little dent in Worthing United's aspirations of getting. Who did? Oh, did they?
Yeah. Shout out to. What don't you do? It's what it is.
Match reports. That's what he doesn't do. Match reports, Cam. There we go.
Brighty.
Oh, I'm getting pelters now.
I've seen you in kit. Oh, I bet that weren't a pretty sight, Stu, either.
I had the Shoreham kit on for that video shoot. Oh, yeah. Anyone see my cameo in that video shoot? I look fat.
Anyway, back to team of the week.
Sorry, mate.
That's all right. Yeah, there wasn't a lot that actually stood out. So congratulations to Reigate Priory. The poll is up for the month. So you've got Shoreham, Horsham YM, Reigate Priory, and whoever won it last week. Let me have a look backwards because I can't remember. That was Horsham YM. So who won it before them? Whitehawk. Wow. It's up at the moment. It's probably got about 12 hours left on it, I think.
Yeah,
roughly. So
good on Coach Wyatt, Aaron Fields. The lads deserved win. Did put a dent in Worthing United, so that did.
There you go. Mike doesn't drive either. There we go. Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has put a dent in them. Right.
Yeah, they've left themselves a bit exposed like that with the teams. And again, I worry about Arundel. Again, I've said this for a long time. And Statman has surely backed me up because that is a lot of games they're going to have to put in that promotion run.
Well, quite. I mean, the one thing I was going to say is, I mean, Worthing United aren't alone in that. Like, there's been quite a few of the chasing pack have been dropping points. You know, we've been saying. I think the last few weeks we've been saying Godalming are the main winners, and they've not been able to get game on.
Cam,
what are you going about? Let's read the comment.
I assume he's talking about the team of the month, but it doesn't quite work like that, Cam. We pick one a week based on that weekly performance. You go and pick the winner on Twitter. That's got nothing to do with us. It's not. Don't confuse it with
nothing to do with me. I've said this multiple times as well.
And don't confuse it with any of the County League Team of the Month awards because their own committee seem to get very confused with theirs and ours. Ours covers everybody from all the steps from 2 down to 6. We don't discriminate.
By all means, if you've got any questions about the team of the month, by all means, just get in touch because we're always really happy to field those sorts of questions.
No, we're not. I explained
nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. The amount of powers I get.
Superb, isn't it?
Well, where's this burger review?
Right, it's coming now. Right. There, burger review.
You can't eat it.
Are you ready for this?
Right, no, because they got a really shitty review last time when Gaz was there.
That's
but I know I stepped up
because it was a breakfast roll. Right, now Gaz's burger review. He's not here, but he's actually provided one. Right, the breakdown. And this is a Magpie Burger. Magpie Burger, it's called. Right, it's crusty tiger roll, which is a huge upgrade. Proper texture, proper bite. Lockwood Burgers Butcher, local, and you can taste it. Sausage added. We are not playing small here. Melted cheese.
Big sausage.
Doing its job properly. Moisture level, like it moist. Moist the better. Absolutely spot on. Well done on your moistness. Mark cooked it as well. So it's all on the chairman, this. All on the chairman.
Oh, well, Lacey did it, did he?
Lacey did it, yeah.
Wow.
This is what happens when a club backs itself. Big flavours, local produce, good melt. And he's not talking about you, Mike, a good melt. Good structure, no gimmicks, just execution. From dry spell to form surge. New score, 8 out of 10. Statement performance, top half push incoming.
Yeah, I mean, I gave it a 9 the week before, and I loved it.
given the effusive review,
Gaz is the man for that.
Given what?
Well, given how effusive he was in his praise for the Lockswood burger, I'm surprised it only gets an 8.
Yeah, but he knocks one out over the Stenning one every single week, doesn't he?
Yeah, fair.
He does.
You know, let's be honest.
Which we don't recommend if you visit Stenning.
And he's put the only reason it was rescored was due to being a hop last visit and a breakfast menu. So that's why he's rescored it. So Lockswood, there you go. 8 out of 10 mark for your burger.
To be fair, two visits. Me and Gaz over there, they got an average score of 8.5, so they got to be taking that.
Got to be taking that. There we go. Might make the chairman smile for the first time this season. I could say something to that, Ian, but I won't because I like
That's one way to talk yourself out of a job.
Hey?
That's one way to talk yourself out of a job.
I can't believe you got through this pod. You're banging out Cruisy Campos like they're going out of fashion. And I'm sitting here. I've had a couple of coffees. And that. Where did it all go wrong?
Don't know. Right. Any shout outs, anyone?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to shout out my wife. Right? Because as of tomorrow, she puts me on the fat injections. No booze, no food. Yeah. So I'm going to shout out my wife. You know, it was lovely being married for all this time. But it's over. Oh no! Can I shout out? I want to shout out Lingfield. Rich is looking for someone to do their social media at Lingfield FC. Get in contact with Rich Williams down there. Get in contact with their Twitter.
Crawley Down are also looking for the same.
Crawley, yeah, Dave.
Crawley Down, yeah.
So yeah, get in there. Good couple of jobs. Nice way for someone who's interested in the media side, the social side, who wants to get in to football. A couple of really, really good clubs. So yeah, and shout out to Burgess Hill last night for the hospitality as well. You know, but that's me,
Chris,
for the bit of the game that you got to. Slightly Eastbourne Town related tangents. Shout out Nathan Hover, 9 goals for the season from a centre half. Pretty nice at this point of the season.
Good contribution.
Yeah, definitely. He's our top scorer. And also, Town have got an offer on at the weekend, which I must say, well done for. I messaged them earlier in the season and got nothing, but they obviously listened to a point. So there's an offer at the weekend at the Saffrons, £5 if you're a season ticket holder of a team from basically step 2 or above. So if you're a Borough season ticket holder or Brighton or anyone in the EFL or conference, but I'm sure that won't come into our league really, £5 entry into the Saffrons on Saturday with the only game, in Eastbourne, certainly. There's nothing in Newhaven, nothing in Lewis. I think there's a couple in Bexhill, but that's about it for about 30 miles. So if you're needing a football fix on Saturday, get yourself down to the Saffrons in Eastbourne, in for a £5 if you've got a season ticket with another club.
Splendid stuff. Right, I'm going to shout out Saturday, 28th of March, non-league day.
That's my birthday.
Yeah, I know it's your birthday. I've been told.
I'll be 21.
Yeah, okay.
You can have a few pints of water to go in your
When you see me on my birthday, mate, I'm going to be chiseled like I'm some kind of Roman god.
He's going to be eating like pineapple cubes off a stick, and that's it. Just pineapple cubes. You won't be allowed to cheese.
I am 16'7". Look, I'll put that in there. I'm 16'7". When I was playing football, I was 13 stone, and I felt I was fat when I was playing football because I was slow. So look, you wait till you see the transformation in me. I'm gonna have a 6-pack. If we get that done cosmetically, I suppose.
I was going to say, I thought you weren't allowed them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's downgrading to a 4-pack. Anyway, non-league day on Saturday the 28th of March. So far, I've not seen a single offer or thing of what any club is doing anywhere yet. So I hope there's going to be a few trundling their way out over the next few weeks. And obviously, we'll get those out. We'll get the fixtures up online on the non-league day page in the next few days as well. So you can see exactly where you can head towards.
I think it's
Pardon?
poor, the communication of that.
It's the same time every year. I think it's more down to the clubs. The non-league.
I do. It was so poor that even Gareth Fu guy was looking at doing a mini hop, wasn't he? Involving us lads. We just didn't have enough time to put it all together. But surely, there must be some. What are we? 3 weeks away?
Yeah, we will be from the weekend. Yeah, 3 weeks.
Do you,
It might be everyone's. Huh?
I'll get a map up like I did last year.
Yeah, that'd be good. It might be if people have got stuff arranged, just haven't no one's put it out there yet. So we'll kind of see as it goes over the next few weeks, but we'll put everyone's else out there as there was. The other things I will shout out as well is if you go to www.footballwriting.com onto my site, you can read a bit more on Loxwood against Ringmer from the weekend for the superbly priced 75p. So it ain't going to break your bank. You can't get a chocolate bar for much less than that these days as well.
You can read 8 articles for £1.
Yeah, roughly if you're in London. Yeah. No, less than that. No, it'd be less than that. Yeah, I think I'm the other way around on it. And also Sussex against Faversham will be up either tomorrow or Friday as well. So again, if you support those clubs, get on there and have a read. You haven't got to read everything that's on there. Just go and read that individual one. But if you enjoy everything, go and subscribe and read a little bit more because all contributions are gratefully received.
Yeah, and obviously, cheers, Cam, for reminding me. Shout out Dugout AI. Dugout-AI.com. Get in there, download the app, have a little play, give me some feedback. We're adding new features every couple of days. And look, if you don't support it, oh no.
He will. Right, where's everyone heading?
I was supposed to be going to Infinity, but I'm going to have to speak to the Community Chairman because I didn't realise that I'd already committed to yourselves. I'm going to be at Crabtree Park. My first visit to Wick FC versus Lingfield. And we've got to present a trophy to Lingfield, haven't we, for their...
We have indeed.
For the team trophy there. 2 teams that need a result as well. Wick had just signed one of my guys, one of my coaches that used to work with me, Jack Downey, who was at Lancing this season. Didn't work out for him there for whatever reason. I don't know, because I think he's good enough. Great signing. Looking forward to seeing him. Charlie Robinson, all those boys. Craig, my old gaffer. Craig Stewart, Craig the pup. See Baldwin down there. Hopefully see Rich Williams as well, Linfield. So, buzzing for that. And
Tuesday?
Tuesday? I'm in Cheltenham, mate.
Okay.
I've got tickets to Cheltenham Champions Day. Me, the wife, and my one of my best mates are going, and we might be sneaking my son out because I think he's got a cold and he might be off for school on Tuesday.
That's superb foresight, that is. Love the science. Love the science.
Yeah.
Chris?
For a change, I will be making use of my Eastbourne Town season ticket and going to watch Eastbourne Town. We've got Faversham at the home at the weekend.
Oh,
another trip to Sussex for Faversham. So that'll be good. In terms of Tuesday, I don't know. The fixtures don't look especially friendly for me. So I will play it by ear. Just looking through the fixtures now, just seeing is there anything.
Can I get there? I'm going to get down to an Eastbourne Town game with you, mate. No.
Well,
it's near a train station, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, really well placed by a train station. A few bars as well, if the non-drinking.
Oh no, he's not that near a bar, cool.
No. So
can I just do? Dr. X has been on my case again about the app. Remember, you have to register with an email address on dugout-ai.com to get all of the features. Otherwise, you only get limited amounts. Okay. So cheers, Dr. X. See you.
But I'll tell you what, actually, just looking through the fixtures, tell you what, Godalming have got a week, haven't they? They've got Infinity at home on Saturday and then Billingshurst at home on Tuesday. That's a big week. Yeah, I don't know about Tuesday just yet. I will see.
I want a big game though for that non-league day. It's going to be my birthday. If I'm going to have to sacrifice one's day of birth, there must be some good games.
Well, I'll let you know when I put the page up with all the fixtures on it, and you just go and have a look at that and take your pick.
And I'll give you a map so you can see them on a map as well.
There you go. What more can you want, eh?
The
boys
driver.
deliver. A driver, well, Gaz.
Well, no, because now I'm off the booze. Now the cruising camp home deliberately turned me down for the sponsorship. They probably
Mike's going to be driving us.
I'll take you in the Benz zone, mate. I'll take you in there. I'll take you. Don't worry, mate.
As
long as the club's
tie.
got an electric charger, you know, because on those stupid effing charger. Don't get an electric car. Don't get an electric car. Waste of time.
There you go. Everyone else is checking in where they're going as well. How about that?
Good. Bring it on. We like this.
Yeah.
Is everyone getting involved? I've got no idea where I'm going. I haven't had a look. I really want to go to Farnham on Tuesday. One of my mates also wants to go to Farnham this year, and Worthing are at home on Tuesday night, so there'll be Buckley's chance of that on Tuesday.
Worthing got Tuesday. Do you know?
Maidenhead United, who one of the guys I used to sponsor playing for Barnet actually plays for, so I could go there and have a beer with him. I could also go to
two teams in the playoff
as well, because I've got a couple of XBs, huh?
Two teams in the playoff spots as well. Worthing, Maidenhead.
Yeah. But I could end up just going somewhere else completely different. I don't know about Saturday. I haven't even got that for. Shoreham versus Stenning, local derby on the 28th. There you go. There's one.
Local derby? Cammy, what were you smoking on, mate?
Wherever you're not anymore. You had to upload it somewhere, didn't you?
Cam's a top lad, but local derby? What? It takes half hour to get from them.
Who's driving you? Who's driving you though, Gaz?
Yeah.
Gaz is at the wheel.
Mike will be hanging a coffee out the window, won't he? Instead of a beer can. Right, just before we go as well, we were going to add a little bit in, and it's trying to work it into where it's going to fit somewhere in without going into any of the leagues. So we're going to chuck it in right at the very end as well. The four of us have been having a bit of a discussion in the group chat about the sides that aren't able to get home games on, and
yes.
Probably what not many people would have seen actually this week is there are actually a few clubs that are in worse states than what ours are. Wolverhampton Casuals, who play in step 6 of, I can't remember which division it was now because I put it in my Monday moment, can't remember. They're playing 12 games this month. They started last night on Tuesday. They play again on Thursday, and they're Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday for 2 weeks, and then it drops down to Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. And then obviously they'll complete the rest of their campaign in April. Now they don't look to be that badly off for games. Tunbridge Wells in the Skeffel haven't played a home game since the 1st of November, and there are a couple of sides in their division as well. One's actually played less.
It's poor at that level.
Well,
you know what I mean.
The problem is that every club has their.
What's the problem? Because pitches.
Right.
You know, they've got to stop treating these pitches, like they're fucking Wembley, mate.
Let me speak.
Okay.
Right. The problem is every club has their own individual problems. Tunbridge Wells, for example, is built on clay. Now, the water obviously can only go down so far, and then it stops because of what's underneath their pitch. You've got Arundel with the river alongside. We've got Billingshurst. We've got AFC Uckfield Town have also got their own problems as well, where they don't play at home for about 3 months of a season. Tunbridge Wells' case has been 4. And there's probably clubs up and down the country. Now, the only way that I can see around it without altering too much in a fixture list where clubs at this time of the year play on 3G, they play 4 weeks in a row, because clubs on the other side of that have got no income for 4 weeks if they're playing away. Plus, as well, you can't guarantee when you put that fixture list out in July that we're going to get 4 weeks of wet weather in January and February. And then you can't have sides playing at home for 8 weeks in a row. But you can create enough space in order that these sides play home games on midweeks, front end of the season, where it doesn't affect anything. Then the only games getting called off in this part of the season should be cup games that can be slotted in the week after, or the week after, or the week after. You're going to get variations when you get cup ties and you get replays, but if you don't schedule fixtures on that Tuesday night following an FA Cup weekend, but you work around all of those, it can fit. It's not going to solve everything, but it should alleviate some of the problems. And without these clubs getting thousands of pounds to actually sort out the drainage underneath their pitch to be able to allow them to play through these periods, the only other way you're going to do it is playing a 3G surface. What do you think?
Very fair point. Hard to argue against that, to be fair.
Thanks.
Still, I said that in the chat. You know, I agree. I still think there's a few groundsmen out there that treat their pitches like they are Wembley. You know, that sometimes you've got to realise that games got to go on. You know, and there's some that take the piss.
It's not.
Right?
Thing is, it's not.
What was that team that got called out the other day in the Isthmian or whatever it was? We'll call up with. They had the hoses on, didn't they?
Oh, Kings Lynn in the National League North. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It does go on, and it goes on in this league as well, right? I know full well in the SCFL, there's been games where teams have deliberately, when they know they're short, deliberately doctored the pitch or had someone else make the call on the pitch when it ain't good enough.
No one can make the call apart from the referee.
Right, I know full well they've had people doctor their pitch, yeah. And look, if you ain't got your best, if you're missing 4 or 5 of your players in a key thing, you do every little thing, even if it's by book or by crook, to get that. I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
Aside though, Mike, because you can doctor the pitch at any point during the season and rough it up, make it look crap or whatever. We're talking a spell of 2 months where it's pissed hard with rain for 8 weeks.
Two teams that now. I look at Uckfield, right? Really, really good people behind the scenes. Really good people. They haven't had a game on since November.
Yeah, 130 days since their last home game.
I mean,
but to be fair to Uckfield, right? On this occasion, a lot of this is actually due to the fixture list. So their fixtures seem to be, because I remember calling this out in August, their fixtures were massively front loaded. So like eight of their first 10 games were at home. They played 8 home games by the end of September.
Yeah, so, and one of us brought it up in the group, didn't we? That we said maybe teams like shout out to Billingshurst, they wouldn't put their money in their pocket, right? And they wouldn't have paid it like Worthing for a few or some wherever they went. Yeah, they did something like that. Yeah, Arundel always had the problem in there. One thing they shouldn't do is, and that is true, yeah, I know he did that. He's fucking kettles. But one thing they shouldn't do is load up with home games in the summer. That ain't fair. That is not fair. That brings it into the game, integrity of the game into fair. You know, because you want to get the games on, the clubs need to do something about it. Or if they can't at this level, they need to get out of this level.
But were you not saying before, Mike, that you've got to play everyone twice a season, so was it matter? I did say that. But if you're saying play 15 home games at the beginning, yeah, that.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't do that. No, I think.
Yeah, I know. I
think what they have to look at is how many 3G pitches they've got of clubs in a league, and then go, right, for example, we've got, I mean, if you look at the Isthmian Prem, you've probably got half the clubs are on 3G and half on grass. So when you get to this time of year, you've got to be looking at those sides on 3G should be at home twice at least through that period. Then the other 2 games are away. So you're going to have 2 weekends where the grass teams are going to be at home. But potentially you're only going to lose 2 games instead of you try and play 4 games on grass because everyone else is on grass as well. You're going to lose 4 games instead. You're not going to be able to manage it in every league, and every league's got to be, and I know again, it's volunteers again, but there's got to be a little bit of a cuter way of doing it to try and stop that from happening as much as you can. You're never going to fully stop it, but if you're getting part the way to it, then you're solving some of the problem. You know, the only way you're going to get around it is by having everybody on a 3G surface. You've got teams that are ground sharing.
That's not
No, it's not going to happen. No. So again, I'd like clubs to be able to spend and given the access to funds, because there's so much money in the
Someone
game.
just made a comment as well, actually, on the thing. Early home games are due to other games having pitches shared with cricket pitches as well.
Yeah, that's Bexhill and Eastbourne Town have that problem.
Littlehampton were like that as well, weren't they?
Yeah, Sportsfield.
Yeah, Littlehampton play Sunday now though.
Oh,
but they
right.
do, but again, that's the thing of having stepped up a level, that you probably would have got away with it in the county league. Once you go up, it gets that little bit more professional the higher you go. You know,
I still think your solution is a viable solution that could help. At the same time, right, we've had in this county 2 or 3 days this year without some sort of precipitations, they say.
Yes.
Commoners, that's rain. Yeah. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I'm an educated man there, Chris. Please do not laugh. You know, but what I'm saying is, okay, so that is tough. But I've talked about this. Surely covers, surely better drainage, surely if you're going to be throwing a oneer at a player a week in these leagues, yeah, but your pitch is shit and you don't play, you need to give your head a wobble. Look about what is best for the club.
The only thing I'd say with covers is
a lot of people.
Yes, and again, you know how stretch clubs are. You know,
like the cricket ones.
Saturday might not be a problem. It's a Tuesday night. If you got to get those covers off the pitch because you've given it, you've had them on for as long as you can, give it the best possible chance of being fit to play. Are you going to get them off? And not only that, when you're taking them off, where are you storing them? Because they ain't small.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
we spoke about
as much as it's a great idea.
Here's a little project for you, Statman. Yeah. Would you know of how a league table of who's had the most called off or the most not?
No, the simple reason is in my spreadsheets I update the date of the fixture. I don't make a note of how many times it's been postponed, which is a good job actually, because computers are only small, and I'd need a massive database for the likes of Upfield and Billingshurst alone. You know, this isn't a problem that's unique to Sussex. I remember Glossop North End having to play about 12 games in April, May. No, it was April, and it might have even been 13 games because they got to the final of the Vars, they got to all the cup finals, and it pisses down 8 days a week. So you've got no chance of getting games on. So they were having to play, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I think there was even one time where they played twice in 24 hours. So because it just got that, it did get that bad.
I think what you want to do is you want to get to April and go, right, we played 2 rounds of the League Cup at the end of July. We played 2 rounds of the County Cup at the end of July. We played as many games as we could midweek here. It rained here for 6 weeks. We did as much as we could. And then I think people would turn around and say, there isn't any more you could do apart from you then start looking at silly things like starting the season earlier or, you know, that sort of stuff that just isn't going to work.
There also seems to have been a lot of late postponements this year. And I mean late. I mean, after teams have set off late. Like, I mean, even Whitehawk at Dulwich, they've basically got to Champion Hill. Yeah, twice.
Do you know what? We're talking about. I even looked into. I put into. Chris has got his models. I've got my models. I looked into. Could you prepare some kind of solution for like under £500 to £1,000? Okay, some kind of protective solution.
Move to Spain.
And the only thing we could work out would be the tarpaulins, and then you've got the health and safety risk. You've got all this sort. It's a fucking ball ache, mate. You know, but the person who does come up with something like that is on to a winner. And if they do, let me know, because I'll have a bit of that.
Right, let's leave it there anyway, because we're well over.
Great numbers as well for the show.
We've been on for about half a day.
Yeah,
It feels like it, doesn't it? Yeah. Gaz picked a good one to miss, didn't he? Right, if you want to get in touch with us, drop us a line at the SNLF on X. We're snlf.co.uk on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
Fans.
On OnlyFans, yeah. I haven't started that yet. Maybe we need to.
Send them pictures you sent to us earlier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
Mike's Dugout Diary's calendar for 2027 is in production.
They weren't explicit photos that were sent to the boys in the group chat. They were just sent to the wrong person.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. He's got a calendar coming, girls. Don't you worry. It'll be out for 2027. Be live in the shop soon as a sneak preview. You can get a 6-month version for 2026.
Right.
There we go. I've actually made him speechless. That's the first time ever. Right. Enjoy the next 7 days of football wherever you're heading to, and we'll be back again next Wednesday.
Cracking, lads. Adios. Check out dugout-ai.com. Get registered. Bye-bye.
Get down the Safs on Saturday. See you later.
Check Trev's